care when they need it, as well as reducing the pressure on our hospitals. It's unclear exactly how many beds will be built. Australia's fuel reserves are in the spotlight as conflict in the Middle East sees prices rise at the bowser. It's understood we have 36 days of petrol, 34 days of diesel and 32 days of jet fuel in reserve. Centre for Independent Studies spokesman Aidan Morrison says Australia is vulnerable to a supply shock.
We don't have really any domestic fuel production capacity of our own. We refine about 20% of what we use, but even the stocks that feed our refineries, almost all of that is actually imported crude oil as well.
The Prime Minister has confirmed Australian military assets have been sent to the Middle East amid the ongoing conflict. Anthony Albanese says they're in the region as a contingency. 2 Australian soldiers were on board a US submarine which sank an Iranian frigate in the Indian Ocean near Sri Lanka. From Monday, Aussies won't be able to watch explicit material unless they can prove their age. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Porn, R-rated video games and explicit AI chatbots will be out of bounds for Australians from next week, with no adult content allowed unless you can prove you're an adult yourself. SMH The Age says the operators of everything from search engines to social media, app stores and AI must take steps to prevent kids accessing inappropriate content, and that also includes extreme violence and self-harm. Fail that and they'll cop a $49.5 million fine for every breach. The E-Safety Commissioner says services will need to have accurate and reliable age assurance methods similar to the ones used for under-16 social media.
A study has found social media is influencing Australians' financial decisions. 1 in 5 people say they've purchased a big-ticket item like a car or a holiday after seeing the item on socials. Data shows Australia's perspective on gender equality has shifted. Hugh Phillips reports.
The Ipsos study found in the last 7 years there's been a 15% increase in Australians who believe gender equality has gone far enough. The report finding 56% of men and 37% of women hold the view. The shift in Australia is also being felt around the globe. Of the 24 countries surveyed in 2019, Spain is the only one where people are less likely to think enough is being done to close the gap between the sexes.
A new study targeting the world's deadliest breast cancers is soon to begin in Brisbane hospitals. Triple-negative breast cancer accounts for about 15% of Australian diagnoses, but early signs are promising. Meta research study lead Professor John Hooper says the study has been approved and is now seeking trial participants.
So we're reaching a very exciting phase and hopefully we'll be able to recruit those 15 women very quickly.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Jess. The Blues are licking their wounds after going down to the Swans in last night's season opener by 63 points at the SCG. Carlton coach Michael Voss says their intensity dropped after leading by 10 points at half-time.
We lost some pretty important territory. In our stoppages, their centre square bounce was too good. And our intensity dropped. Kicked the first 2 goals after half-time. We're thinking the game's in pretty good shape. And for the next, 20-odd minutes, it was watching the ball go through the opposition's goals.
The round continues tonight with Gold Coast hosting Geelong. To soccer, the Matildas have recorded a 4-0 win against Iran to guarantee their progression out of the group stages in the Women's Asian Cup. The Aussies will next meet South Korea to see who finishes on top of the group. Meantime, there's one game in the EPL this morning and it's a big one for Tottenham as they fight to avoid relegation. Spurs are playing at home against Crystal Palace. To cricket now, South Australia will be looking to pile on the runs when day 2 of their Shield match against New South Wales resumes at Karen Rolton Oval later this morning. SA will start the day at 1 for 20 after dismissing the visitors for 269. Henry Thornton, the star, with a maiden 5-wicket haul. Meantime, India has progressed into the T20 World Cup final. That's after a thrilling 7-run win against England in their semi-final overnight. And the Tassie Jack Jumpers have been knocked out of the NBL season after suffering an 82 to 68 point loss to Melbourne United. United will now play against the Perth Wildcats for a spot in the semi-finals. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
27 and mostly sunny today, and it's the same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Sunny and 27 every day of our long weekend. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
This state election, it's a fit in with you thing, with more ways to vote than ever. Early voting period ends at 6 p.m. on Friday, March 20. Voting, it's a good thing. Authorised by M. Sherry, Electoral Commissioner, Adelaide, South Australia.
Over 90% already gone. Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery now. Win the $4 million grand prize. A fully furnished Scott Salisbury home in Henley Beach South, including $300,000 cash. Our last lottery sold out early and tickets are already over 90% sold. Get yours now. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14894.
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes
Ace.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices.
Gotcha.
A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
When you're hosting a family Christmas party, you might start with a go-to roast, a drama-proof seating plan, and that gravy recipe that's a family secret. But those in the know find all the answers in the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can make sure you have the best wines, beers, and spirits for everyone. And great gift ideas too, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store, Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie, family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
Your kids need a good education, not secret indoctrination.
Political correctness and gender theories are driving a wedge between you and your kids.
Family First will get schools back to basics to take the pressure off parents. Vote 1, Family First.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton Family First Party, Norwood.
Who wants to go on a holiday? Dreaming of your next getaway? With Travel Options, the choice is yours. From powered sites for caravanners to holiday cabins, relaxing cruises and hotel escapes, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. You bid the price you want to pay. With Travel Options, it's as simple as placing your bid, and if you are successful, hello holiday. TravelAuctions.com.au or call 1300 656573. No hidden fees, just great deals.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
10 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Friday on 5AA Breakfast. The long weekend is almost upon us. But we've got a lot to talk about between now and then. Interesting program coming up this morning. We're going to be chatting with another Aussie stranded in the Middle East. Penny Milton is in Doha trying to get out. Just one flight has made it out. We'll be chatting with someone who was on that plane a little bit later. This is an extraordinary story. A comedian coming to the Fringe that has arrived late yesterday afternoon after being trapped in Dubai, arrived somehow in time for the first Fringe show they were performing. A comedian who was on stage last night after spending 5 days in transit and miraculously making it in time will be joining us on the program a little bit later in the day. We'll talk about the search for Gus Lamont, why farmers are particularly concerned about the issues facing shipping because of the war in Iran, urea, the impact on fertiliser, We'll be chatting with Livestock SA chairperson Gillian Fennell after 6:30 today. Michael Packy in the nation's capital. We'll talk a bit of sport. Footy started last night. Democracy sausage. And, of course, Feedback Friday. It's going to be a fun morning. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Phil. Well, Phil, I called you Phil because I was just reading a text message. I was about to share a text message I sent with back and forth with Phil Curry last night, resident political analyst here at 5AA and long-suffering Carlton fan. At 9:34 p.m. last night, I texted Phil saying this: I know the season has been going for only 3 quarters, mate, but I'm worried that you've already had a gutful. I can't read his reply. Before I can read.
He was probably happy with the first half.
Yeah, third quarter not so much. It was a 3-word reply. First word was pea-hearted. Second word was spineless. Can't say what the third word was.
I know enough about the English language to know that last word may have been French.
Yeah, that's right.
Poor old Phil.
It is evil football, isn't it? Well, there's a certain predictability to it, I guess.
It should be for Carlton fans.
God, what about that? But yeah, geez, a rotten game the first half, but perversely fascinating.
It was
the third quarter.
Yeah, then it really opened up and it was amazing. The highest scoring third quarter since 1991.
Yeah, it was the third highest scoring quarter of all time.
Just ludicrous.
Unbelievable. Thank God it's Friday, though. Thank God it's a long weekend. I got to say, I'm starting to feel a bit jaded with this state election. I feel like I'm on a bit of a rut at the moment, Will. Come in here. Love doing the show. Love seeing your smiling face. And
Tell me what's happening.
Paddy.
Open up.
Well, I go home, I have a nap.
Yeah.
And then I wake up to a missed call from the Australian saying, anything happening in the election today? And I feel like I'm having this sort of recurring nightmare where I keep waking up. I'm not sure if I'm waking up during the day after the show or if I'm waking up before the show. And it just sort of feels like everything that is to be said about the election has been said.
The Australian, have they read their own poll? Are they aware that no one even here is talking about the election, let alone making it newsworthy for people in the eastern seaboard?
Well, maybe because normally they don't pay any attention to South Australia. They've suddenly gone, well, there's a whole state over there. They've got electorates and everything. They've got 47 seats. They got this Malinowski.
Must be stories coming out of your
well, it's like a whole new world. They've suddenly switched on to SA.
Hey, yeah,
we generally do get ignored by the eastern states, don't we? And I kind of like it.
Yeah, but the problem is the national political picture. They're seeing South Australia as the first big test of the new political environment, except it's not really. Nothing.
Oh, no, it is.
No, it is. It is that, but I'm just saying from the perspective of the average South Australian, there is not enough intrigue around this election to sustain ongoing interest. So it's a political nerds kind of story now. It's not wow, I'm choosing between two distinct...
Guilty as charged.
But for the average person, it's not like you're staring at the crossroads of two different futures for South Australia.
No, it's not a discussion over beers at the Lonsdale Hotel tonight, is it? Because it's not like, yeah, mate, how do you see the election panning out?
No one's asking. The meat tray, thanks to Olga's Fine Foods. A pretty frank discussion yesterday about Kyle and Jackie O and that show entirely disappearing from the face of the earth after an internal feud. It was, whatever you say about it, by the numbers, very popular, which got us thinking for the meat tray this morning. What are things that are clearly very popular that you just don't get?
Oh.
So things that you admit, now this is not, you don't need to come on and bag things that other people like. You just need to put up your hands and say, look, I get people like this thing. It's not for me. Maybe you don't even understand why they like it. You don't understand why you dislike it. It's just you have a sense. Lots of people seem to find X quite good. Okay, I don't see it. I don't feel it. 8223 text us on 0480081395.
I've actually got one, Will, that might really upset you. And I say it with no sense of judgment, and I say it with the preface that it may well, that it's on me. It's not on the people who follow it. And my son loves it, and it's always on the TV in our house. But I, try as I might, I just don't get basketball. I just don't get it.
Fair enough.
And I know it's massive. And I went to my 8-year-old son's basketball game last night. watched the game. It was good fun for the kids.
It's not for you.
But I just
that's a good entry.
I don't understand how it's a sport.
That's a good entry.
It feels like a social sport to me, like something you do with your friends.
I'm glad you.
I'm sorry, I'm not dissing anyone who likes basketball.
No, I'm glad you came up with one that I'm not going to like, because in my list I came up with a number that you're not going to like.
Oh.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Here we go. Popular things.
We're having our own Kyle and Jackie O moment
this
today.
is it. This is going to be the falling out. You're going to punch me after this. 2020 cricket, the Pandas, group selfies, the Rolling Stones, oysters, large areas of the parklands, Married at First Sight, and Wes Anderson films. All very popular things I don't really get.
Now, I've written down Rolling Stones and oysters. This is things I'm
Gimme
prepared
Shelter
to...
is an awesome song, but I don't get anything else other than that.
Mate, I'll make you a playlist. Seriously, there's a million great Stone songs. There's so many great Stone songs.
My mother is loves the Rolling Stones. It's been played in our house since I've been a small child. I've never got it.
But if you like Gimme Shelter, you must like other songs on Let It Bleed, like Monkey Man, and I reckon you'd like if you like Gimme Shelter, you'd like their 70s stuff, like Some Girls, absolutely brilliant record. With Miss You on it.
I can't do Start Me Up.
When the whip goes down. Yeah, no,
I can't.
I'm with you.
I can't get there. I can't get there.
Quite dull,
Raymond in Salisbury Plains, something that's obviously popular that you just don't get.
6-7.
That's a good one.
Boys, I've got two teenage sons, 19 and 16. Well, 16-year-old is probably the closest one, mate, that understands it. Mate, even trying to get him to explain it to me, I just don't get it. I just don't understand, and they can't explain it to me either.
It is completely ridiculous. But isn't that sort of its appeal? Like the idea
it is meaningless,
so stupid?
And people always wonder what it means.
You know what's destroyed it for kids? Old farts like me doing it.
Yes.
Like when it's got to the point where Matthew Abraham and I know what it is, you got to get yourself a new trend, kids.
Stop being cool. Good text coming through. I'd love some more calls too. 82230000. Like the Kyle and Jackie O show. By the numbers, it's popular. David and I, we don't really get it. We're asking you about things that are obviously popular that you just don't quite get. 82230000. You could win yourself something that is quite popular that everyone understands. Olga's Fine Foods meat tray.
I've written my column for Sunday about the Kyle and Jackie O program.
Oh, excellent.
And
it was a nice little preview we got yesterday.
Well, it was when you write a column that takes less than half an hour. You know, it's like so when you kick a footy and you go, that felt so good off the beat. Like if it's a quick column, it's come from part of your brain where it has to be said and it's been festering away for years.
The footy analogy is a good one because sometimes you kick a footy and you go, I didn't even have to kick that hard. Yeah, I just hit it sweetly and it's gone a distance.
Well, it's just like really nailing a drive in golf, which hardly ever happens. But when it does, you just go, oh yeah, that's gone straight up the guts, about 200 yards.
This meat tray's going off on the text line. It's look. I'm looking forward to that column. That's going to be must read stuff. 19 after 6. More things that are obviously popular that you just don't get next.
Star Discount Chemist's big brand vitamin sale is here. Big brand names at low prices, including Bioglan, Blackmores, Nature's Way, and more. Go in store or online to shop. Always read the label and follow directions for use. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
As a South Aussie-based not-for-profit health insurer, Health Partners isn't just your health partner. We're your tooth-checking partner, hammy-stretching partner, chart-squinting partner. We're your bone-mending, script-filling, arch-lifting, giving, salad-suggesting, generous limit-giving, member-supporting, SA-loving partner. So for great value health cover, there's no better partner in health than Health Partners. Health insurance made human.
If you're thinking of building or renovating your kitchen, now you've got a lot of choices to make, but the first choice should be Smeg. We have an amazing Smeg showroom right here in Adelaide. It's Debney Distributors. They're in Dudley Park, and inside you'll find the full Smeg range on display.
They've got everything from ovens, cooktops, fridges, dishwashers to cellars, kettles, toasters. Smeg, seamlessly pairing powerful performance with architectural design. Now, they also have cooking demonstrations. I did one myself. It was so much fun. Smeg's been proudly made in Italy since 1948. Its colour design and tech is world famous. Smeg, technology with style. Visit the Smeg showroom today. Deputy Distributors, Harrison Road, Dudley Park.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tyres and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
When you think of Adelaide Entertainment Centre, you think of this. Or this. But we also host corporate conferences.
Welcome our guest speaker.
Charity galas. And functions of all shapes and sizes. With unique spaces shared by superstars and limited by only your imagination. Events at Adelaide Entertainment Centre are like no other. Make your next event a superstar experience. Visit Adelaide Entertainment Centre's website.
At Charles Darwin University, you can find your future, no matter where you're from. Use your ideas to unlock unique pathways. Make lifelong friends as you learn lifelong skills. And stay connected to community and country. At CDU, we celebrate your diverse perspectives, extraordinary experiences, and passion for community, because that's what makes us a connected university. Search You Make CDU.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
We did not know the answer.
Friday question this morning. You're free to talk about something that's, like the scratch in the roof of your mouth. The thing that's popular that you don't quite understand. Let's rip through some calls. Jazzy in the southeast. Good morning.
Hey, boys. I've got a thing with Sam Booker. I just don't see the point of it. Like, I like a drink, but why you have to lick salt and suck a lemon and then drink that?
Tequila,
that's tequila.
Oh,
you said Sam Booker, Jazzy.
Yeah, but either one of them. My eyes go blurry as soon as I have one.
Yeah, Sam Booker's the licoricey tasting one.
Maybe Jazzy doesn't like Sam Booker because you've been having salt and lime with it by mistake.
That's excellent, Jazzy. Thank you. I went through a Sam Booker stage when I was about 19 and like all alcohol stages when you're 19, you never drink them again after that.
It's one of those things. It's a bit like the West Coast cooler of aperitifs.
Yeah.
It's a way of teaching children how to get shit-faced.
They should put that on the bottle. Paul in Paddington, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Geez, West Coast cooler. That's bringing back something from a long time ago.
Yeah.
This is the best session this morning because this is a really good venting session. For me, going out for breakfast, I cannot understand why you would spend $40 to $50 on a plate of food that you could basically make at home. Breakfast is to eat and run. You go and sit in a cafe with all these other people, with groups of people taking photos of their food, spending 3 hours talking to people, eating breakfast. I don't understand it. I just think it's the most ridiculous thing and full of pretentious people. So go on out for breakfast.
Oh, good on you, Paul. Good work. I bet Paul feels better after that.
Oh, you need to. He's been bottling that up for years.
All right, let's go to Brooklyn Park. Shane, good morning.
There you go, lads. The one thing, it's a very high profile. You see it everywhere advertised. It's even going to come up in the Formula One, but never understood Red Bull.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, Shane. Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see guys at tradies rocking up in the morning drinking and stuff. I can't understand why you'd drink that before you'd have water or something like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Shane.
Although Paddy and Em just reacted like we just said the lamest thing on planet Earth.
Are they in the age bracket that has vodka Red Bull? Usually they're both saying that they drink it.
Yeah, that explains a bit. Sally, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks, Sally.
Mine's pretty much one you said, Will. I don't get maths.
Yeah.
My mum loves it, and she can't, she has to watch every episode. It is the biggest train wreck of TV. I just do not get it.
You should see that. I mean, the numbers it does. It's like a footy game. It's huge.
Oh, it's crazy. It's the most watched show in Australia.
Yeah. Yep. By a long way.
I tell you what, if you think maths is bad. Have you seen a show called MILF Manor? Deary me. I was watching, I felt like I was tapping into my late grandfather, Eric Charles Penberthy, thundering Methodist that he was. I thought,
can I ask
this
you,
is a sign of a society in irreversible moral decline.
how long did it take you into an episode or the season of MILF Manor to decide?
By
that
the end of season 2, I'd never been more appalled in my life. Will.
This probably wasn't The Wire.
No, I watched about 20 minutes.
So you heard the title, MILF Manor, and you thought, well, this might be thought-provoking.
I didn't know what it was about.
Sam and Thevenin, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, guys, when you're hungry, you eat. When you're thirsty, you have a drink.
Mm.
But what do you do when you have a smoke? It's the most horrible, disgusting thing. I just don't get it. Why? Dave, you're a smoker. Tell me.
No. That's all in the past now, Sam.
It's a horrible rumour, Sam.
And Mum's listening to the show. Yeah, no, it is about the dumbest thing you can do to yourself.
Yeah, good on you, Sam. Thank you. Keep them coming in, 8223 things that are clearly popular that you just don't quite get. The weather today is going to be pretty reasonable. We're in a nice little pattern at the moment. Heading for a top of 27, 13 degrees outside at the moment. 27's tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. So you don't need to check the forecast too much over the course of the next few days. It'll warm up for Tuesday, 32. And then Wednesday and Thursday next week, we might get a little drizzle. 32 on Wednesday, shower or two up to 7 millimetres of rain, up to 3 mils on Thursday, and a top of 26, so cooling down ever so slightly. Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast studio. Footy's back. Carlton fans will wish it wasn't. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au. Morning, you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Yeah, look, first half, I think they were probably well pleased. They were 10 points up, but I think in hindsight, it probably speaks to how bad Sydney were, not how good Carlton were. And I think a better side would have had Sydney on the rack at halftime and probably led by 8 or 9 goals. The Swans were dreadful. It was low scoring. Looked like a wet weather game, didn't it? The humidity, the greasy ball.
It looked like the season started a week too early for the sides, didn't it? Like they needed another pre-season game.
Totally.
What was the crowd too? Like it looked like the season started a week too early for everyone in Sydney. It didn't look like there was anyone there.
Well, they ended up with 40 plus.
Oh, did they?
So, yeah, they ended up with a decent crowd.
Because I only watched at the start. Everyone was probably still on Oxford Street having dinner.
Yeah, exactly. But it ended up being a decent atmosphere. But the third quarter was what it was all about, I think, and that was the story of the game. 12 goals, and they still kicked for the Blues, but they gave up 12. It was an extraordinary quarter of footy. 16 goals, for the quarter. How
did Curnow end up at the Swans? Did he just quit Carlton?
Basically wanted out, yeah. And look, the Blues did get some decent players in return, like Hayward, for example, Florent. There was a bit going on after the game, it seems, with Ollie Florent and Callum Mills. Doesn't look like there's any love lost there. He used to play for the Swans. So a trade, essentially. He said, I want out. Yeah. And, they basically had to let him go. So I think we all expected the Swans to win. 63 points, you would have said, yeah, that's on the heavy side. But the way they did it was a bizarre kind of match. But footy's here. We've got 5 games. Collingwood, St Kilda. I do think it's a big advantage for sides that play this week that then play a side that's not playing.
They battle hard into that next week.
Totally. It's like a athlete.
With the new rules and the way the ball comes out of the middle, you're going to see consecutive goals scored a fair bit this season, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like that third quarter was just unbelievable.
It was a tsunami, wasn't it? And they just could not stop it, Carlton.
Because it kept going back to the middle and then...
And it's 6-6-6.
And shoots out again.
Yeah. I do think Carlton are a bottom 6 side. I really think they're going to struggle. Yeah. And I think Michael Voss is under a lot of pressure. Not all his own fault with the list and the way it is, but that's just what it is. Gold Coast, Geelong tonight, going to be very wet there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But the other thing that happened overnight, Australia, poor Iran, they're in the middle of a war and they're playing in this Asian Cup. But
it would feel so beside the point, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Look, you're out here by chance when your whole country's getting blown apart.
Family back home and, worrying about everything going on. But the Aussies won 4-0, so they're through to the knockout
Notably,
stages.
they didn't sing. Did they sing the anthem last night?
They did last night.
They did last night because they did in the previous fixture.
Yeah. But then they got booed for singing it.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you can't judge a bunch of teenage girls.
Well, and I think the other thing is I think we should probably give girls who have grown up in Iran a bit of latitude when it comes to whatever they think, because it's not exactly the most constructive environment for a young woman.
There were protests outside too. The protests at the game. Like, well, just leave these poor Sheilas alone. Like, it's just terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Good on you, Rennie.
Good on you, boys.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 27 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Jess Adamson.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations. physioextra.com.
A teenage P-plater who overtook a police officer on the Southern Expressway while travelling at 144 k's an hour has lost his licence for 12 months. The 19-year-old from Plimpton Park in a Subaru hatchback was pulled over yesterday afternoon. Police say he was more than 60 k's over the 80 km/h limit. His vehicle's been impounded. 2 Australian sailors are believed to have been on board the US submarine which sank an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister's confirmed Australian military assets have been sent to the Middle East as the conflict rages. The UK, Greece and Italy have also bolstered their support, sending additional resources to the area. US Naval War College Assistant Professor Shaheen Barenji says that was predictable.
We have to understand that for Iran's regime right now, they're probably viewing all of this as a situation in which they're on death ground, which means they're fighting for the very existence of the Islamic Republic. So to that end, they would use whatever means they have to retaliate.
Australia's limited fuel reserves are being questioned as the conflict continues to affect global fuel supply. Australia is reportedly the only member of the International Energy Agency that doesn't meet the international standard of 90-day reserves. Centre for Independent Studies spokesman Aidan Morrison says we have indirect exposure to the Gulf oil supply.
Singapore, South Korea, Malaysia, India, those countries make up the majority of our refined imports. And those countries, they do get a lot of their oil, not all of it, but probably more than half of it does come from the Gulf region.
Australian adults will soon have to prove their age to access pornography, R-rated video games and explicit AI chatbots. From Monday, platforms will be required to take meaningful steps to prevent children from being exposed to inappropriate content. The federal opposition has again used question time to focus on the Albanese government's economic record. Data shows the Australian economy is growing faster than expected. The coalition argues it's being driven by public spending, which is putting pressure on inflation. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has told Parliament that's not the case and the private sector is doing the heavy lifting.
Private demand grew faster and contributed over 3 times more to economic growth than public demand in annual terms, Mr Speaker. Order. Within a year, annual private demand growth more than tripled, but annual public demand growth more than halved compared with 2024. Those are the facts of the matter.
An innocent family is suing the Victorian government after they were arrested and their home raided as part of the hunt for cop killer Desi Freeman. Jeremy Sloan and his partner were held at gunpoint and arrested last year. They claim they were falsely accused of harbouring the fugitive despite having no connection to him. Around 3/4 of Australian women say they've had a negative experience at a GP checkup. A House of Wellness poll also found more than half felt their appointments were too short, with similar numbers feeling unheard. Dr Aurelia Heffernan-Mark says the profession needs to rethink women's health.
RACGP recently advocating for longer appointments for complex or chronic conditions, including obviously women's health. So I think the call to action here is longer appointments, patient-centred care, continuity of care, giving women time to tell their stories. It's also giving women the tools to actually advocate for themselves.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. Charlie Curnow has kick-started his career with Sydney with a 63-point win. The key forward chipping in with 3 goals of his own to help down his old club Carlton. The season's set to continue tonight with Gold Coast hosting Geelong. Meantime, competition is set to be fierce for spots with the Lions this year as they chase a rare three-peat. Brisbane kick off their campaign against the Bulldogs on Saturday night at the Gabba. Star forward Charlie Cameron says no spot is safe.
It's exciting because it's put some pressure on the players that played in the grand final. So we know there's some quality players that are coming in as well with Oscar and Draper as well. So.
The Matildas have worked their magic with a 4-0 Asian Cup win against Iran on the Gold Coast. It's the first time in more than 800 days that injured stars Mary Fowler, Sam Kerr and Caitlin Ford have featured in the same 11. Taking out back-to-back goals, player of the match, Alana Kennedy says they're tracking well ahead of the knockout stages.
The aim was to obviously win the game. I think there's things that we definitely could improve, but going into the next match, I think that was the job done, and now we're looking to grow and be even better next match.
The Tillies are now en route to Sydney ahead of their final Group A clash with Korea Republic. And there's one game in the English Premier League this morning. It's just kicked off between Tottenham and Crystal Palace, 0-0 after a few minutes. And South Australia will resume at 1 for 20 later this morning on day 2 of their Shield clash against New South Wales. That's after the visitors were dismissed for 269 in their first dig. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny and 27 today, and it's the same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, sunny and 27 every day of the long weekend. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Cherry is celebrating 3 years in Australia by having a birthday sale. Save $2,000 on the C5, the Tiggo 4 Hybrid or the Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. Offer ends March 31st and conditions apply. Cherry for the road ahead.
Hi, I'm Mark Aldridge from United Voice Australia Party. We're a team of experienced advocates seeking to unite everybody together in the community. We have innovative and compassionate policies to address affordable housing, power, cost of living, homelessness and unity. We understand our ailing health system needs more than just a few beds. It requires entire hospitals, increased practices, more staff and more ambulance services. Vote United Voice Australia and enjoy responsible policies. Spoken and authorised by M. Aldridge for United Voice Australia at Lot 105 Taylors Road, Penfield Gardens, 5121.
No more. Ugh. No more. Try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae is wellness backed by science. A clinical study on Arbor Vitae Joint Health can be viewed at arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Now stocked in all major chemists and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Are you recovering from injury or managing joint or muscle pain? Kiesa Physiotherapy, Rehabilitation and Strength Training programs are your first step to moving with confidence. Discover the Kiesa difference at our National Open Day, next Saturday, March 14 from 8 to 3. Learn how strength can support your long-term health. Try Kiesa's exclusive Swiss-engineered machines and even test your strength. With 33 clinics nationwide, it's easy to get started at Kiesa. Find a Kiesa near you at kieser.com.au.
Mad March's main event, the 2026 Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, is returning to Morphettville on Monday, March the 9th.
Soak up European summer vibes at Club Largo or bring the energy at CC Giddy Up Club with DJ sets. And post-race, don't miss the Jungle Giants DJ set and performances by Shannon Knoll and local DJ JLC.
Giddy Up. Roving Fashions with Ellie Moulton is back, featuring around-the-course interviews and a modern take on race day fashion, as well as the Family Zone with a petting zoo, pony rides and face painting with free entry for the kids under 17.
Hospitality is selling fast with some areas already sold out. You can still secure your spot in the first class lounge and Champions Balcony. Don't miss the 2026 Sportsbet Adelaide Cup at Morphettville, Monday, March 9.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Mitsubishi and Yuriudpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low kilometre Triton, Pajero, Sport, ASX and Outlander. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Mitsubishi. View our whole range of Mitsubishi at steinborner.com.au.
Aussie kids are active kids, creative kids, sporty kids. Are you a Weet-Bix kid?
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes Ace.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices. Gotcha. A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 minutes to 7, police and weather coming up this half hour. Michael Milton is a 6-time Winter Paralympic gold medalist, a star that was likely to add to that medal haul at the Winter Paralympic Games in Venice. And so Michael's family went along. Partner Penny, 2 kids, Matilda, who's 19, and Agnes, 17. Well, unfortunately, the timing couldn't be worse. The journey started last Friday. They got into a hotel room after being stuck at Doha Airport as war broke out around them on Sunday and have been in a hotel room ever since. Penny Milton joins us now on 5AA Breakfast. Morning to you, Penny.
Morning, Dave. Morning, Will.
So, Penny, how are you holding up? This sounds like a complete nightmare.
It is a bit, and I have to say, I think we were holding it together pretty well until today, and today got a little messy. So, yeah, it's been a whole week, and I just can't believe that we've been here a week, really.
Yeah.
Feels like a month.
So are you essentially locked in your hotel room? Can you get out and do things? What's day-to-day life been like for you the last week?
Oh, we can, there's a shopping centre down the road and we can go to that. I mean, nobody said we can't go out, but Doha itself is basically in lockdown. So there's not much open. There's not much to do. So, yeah, so we spend a lot of time in the hotel, absolutely.
What sort of a hotel is it? Is it like in the centre of town, or is it one of those ones you get put up in emergencies near the airport sort of thing, Penny?
It's a 5-star hotel in the middle of Doha with a swimming pool and 3 buffet meals a day. So my 17-year-old son is in his element because all he does is eat and sleep. That's it.
So Penny, what do you know how long you're going to be waiting for, or who will indicate to you when it's time to leave and when there's flights available for you and so forth?
So Qatar Airways won't restart scheduled flights until they've had the okay from the Qatari government, and they are very, very safety conscious. I mean, people would have heard about flights going out of Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, so obviously a little less safety. I mean, I don't know. There's just different government policies for different states. So the Qataris are taking their time, which is just fine. I mean, safety is the biggest concern. But we sort of they moved their defence system to over the Gulf to stop debris falling on civilian areas. And so we haven't had any emergency alerts, or we haven't really heard any missiles for quite a few days since that happened. But then today at around 11 o'clock, we had a barrage of missiles over the city. We could see them out our window. They were shaking the windows. And there would have been about 20 in the space of an hour. So,
crikey.
At that point you go, well, I don't think the airport's going to be open anytime soon. I know the airport is a target.
Were they exploding in and around Doha, Penny, or were they going over you, heading somewhere else?
Look, I don't know what the target was. I just know that in the sky, things were exploding. And
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see them, you could hear them, you could feel them. And it was quite a shock because we were in the airport on the weekend, and afterwards we found out that the airport had been targeted, but we didn't know that when we were in the airport. So we hadn't heard missiles or anything like that. And since coming into Doha and in the hotel, there was one instance where my daughter thought she heard and saw a missile, and it being shot down. But today was the first time we'd heard like this. Honestly, this barrage of missiles. It's first time today that I felt particularly unsafe.
Yeah. Have you heard any?
So we don't know.
Have you had any contact with Michael? Is he in Venice?
So Cortina is where the Paralympic Games are, and he is there. He's been there for about a week. I spoke to him just a couple of hours ago. They're a couple of hours behind us. So he's obviously really keen to have us there, but not really there's no point putting any pressure on, and he has his own preparation to deal with. And, it's tough. It's tough for all of us, really.
How long were you meant to be away for, Penny? Because I presume you've got, and your kids are probably studying or working, they're part-time jobs. Like your life back in Adelaide has to resume it, in Australia rather, has to resume at some point.
Yeah, so we were due to fly back actually from Barcelona not until the 23rd of March. So for that reason, I mean, there's a lot of, when people talk about, the Australian government helping us, that's about repatriation. That's about going back to Australia. But we don't want to do that. We want to go to Italy. And then we've got like a 6 days break afterwards, all four of us, in Barcelona, and then we fly back. But of course, we fly back via Doha. So, that's a problem for later. We'll see what's happening towards the end of March. So so no real word yet. There is some talk of us maybe getting a flight getting some seats on a relief flight out of Riyadh, but that will take us to somewhere in Europe, and then we'll have to try to work out how to get to Cortina. So it's all very up in the air at the moment.
Wow, what an experience. Well, at least you're all together, and sounds like, there's worse places you could be stuck than that hotel. And
exactly.
I just feel sorry for the chefs having to deal with it. I've got a 19-year-old boy myself, so those chefs must be pumping out the food for him.
There is so much. There are 200 of us in this hotel. I call them, airport refugees. 200 of us in this hotel, and it's fully booked fast. And so we have one big dining room, and they put on this amazing buffet. So we are not short of food, and Angus has his pick of, and there's ice cream there every meal. So he's having ice cream for breakfast,
Why not?
Why not? Oh, Penny, thanks for sharing your story. We hope it sorts itself out. It must be a bit of a stressful time, but you sound like you're handling it with pragmatism and keeping a cool head. So good on you. You're a good mum and you're doing a good job.
Thank you so much. Sometimes I'm getting there.
Penny Milton
Thanks, Penny.
in Doha. One thing is clear: very rich, the Emiratis, or those countries in that part of the world, and clearly understand the importance of tourism to their economies. And they have treated the people stuck there incredibly well. We hear about that in the Emirates, Dubai. Everyone we've spoken to, they've said, "Oh, well, we've been put up in hotels, food's been paid for." Like, they clearly don't want anyone to walk away going, "I'm never going through that part of the world again."
Yeah, totally.
Let's head to the Weather Bureau here in South Australia. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson is on duty. Daniel, good morning to you.
Good morning, David and Will.
This is a pretty easy forecast this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, very easy. Groundhog Day coming up. We've got zero wind in the city at the moment, currently sitting at 12.9 degrees, and 27 for the next 4 days. Sunny skies. It really can't get much easier for a weatherman than that. Pretty much the only variability we'll see over the next couple of days is the wind swinging a bit between southerly and southeasterly, so hardly changing on that front as well. If I had to put my money on one of those days not being 27, I'd probably go for the Monday. I reckon that could possibly end up as a 26. Things just cooling down a little bit before we see a front coming, or a front approaching us on Tuesday. That'll warm things up to 32. Still a bit uncertain out in the later parts of next week whether we get a front or a low pressure system snipping off. That'll determine how much rain we actually get on that Wednesday or Thursday. So, still a lot of uncertainty for that possible rainfall later next week.
Good work, Daniel. Thank you. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson there from the Weather Bureau.
All right, let's head to Safe Bowl. Senior Constable Daniel Isaacson joins us. Daniel, drink driver's been caught in Maitland.
Yeah, just before 1 p.m. yesterday, police were called to Robert Street after witnesses reported seeing a white Toyota sedan swerving all over the road. The driver, a 54-year-old man from Port Victoria, underwent a breath test which returned a positive reading of 0.199, so pretty close to 4 times the legal limit there. He was reported for drink driving, issued a 12-month immediate loss of licence. He'll attend court later on, and quite frankly, is lucky he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't know why people keep doing this. Daniel, also some firearms have been seized in Elizabeth.
Yeah, just before 1 a.m. this morning, police were called to an address on Brady Street regarding a check on welfare. A 20-year-old man from Burton was arrested at the address for an outstanding warrant, and officers there located a firearm and a small amount of drugs. A follow-up search at the man's Burton address uncovered a second firearm and assorted ammunition. So he's been charged with multiple firearms offences, and he's going to be attending the Elizabeth Magistrates Court a bit later on today.
And also, Daniel, there's been a unit fire this morning.
Yeah, again, at about 1 a.m, police and fire crews attended Martin Court at Ottaway following reports of a fire. On arrival, firefighters worked to extinguish the blaze, which had caused extensive damage. Fortunately, nobody was physically injured. Fire cause investigators attended to examine the scene, and investigations are ongoing. So we're just asking if anybody's seen anything or has any information to give us a buzz on Crime Stoppers, 1-800-333-000.
Good on you, Daniel. Senior Constable Daniel Isaacson from SAPOL. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment.
Morning there, Brownhill Creek, a breakdown to look out for the freeway down track to the Mount Osmond ramp. Burst water made at Marston, South Road near Everard Avenue. That'll be very slow this morning, making things worse. Another burst, this one's at Edwardstown, Dawes Road near South Road. An early morning camera to look out for today, Dawes Road at St Mary's. Freedom's Ultimate Sofa Sale is on for a limited time. Get up to 60% off all sofas, plus up to 60% off all armchairs. Hurry, sale ends Monday, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. On 5AA.
Internationally acclaimed comedian Stephen K. Amos returns to the Adelaide Fringe.
When I was growing up, my idea of portable music was a record player in a suitcase. I once went to DJ at my friend's house. I took the sewing machine by mistake. It was a singer.
Stephen K. Amos. Now we're talking. From March 6th till 15th in the Garden. Tickets from adelaidefringe.com.au.
Comparing Lawn Hub's Lawn Care Essentials Pack to the stuff you buy at your local hardware store is like comparing a restaurant-quality meal to a microwave dinner. One is clearly a cut above. With Lawn Hub's Lawn Care Essentials Pack, you'll get 5 pro-grade lawn treatments, the same sort used on stunning golf greens. And with an easy-to-understand application calendar, you'll know exactly what to do and when. 4 easy steps to magnificent. Order direct online at lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
Need to rent a car, truck, van or ute? Maybe you're moving, you're off on holidays or planning some work around the house. Whatever the reason, you can rely on Red Spot Car Rentals to get you there.
Red Spot has the perfect ride, whatever you want to do. They have a huge fleet of new vehicles, from small cars to trucks and utes. You'll find them in airport terminals and cities all over Australia. And right now, they're giving you a spot-on special of 15% off every vehicle at every location. T's and C's apply.
So the next time you need a rental, you can rely on Red Spot. Book direct and save 15% now at redspot.com.au/radio or call 1300 66 88 10 and quote radio.
This state election, it's a fit in with you thing, with more ways to vote than ever. Early voting period ends at 6 p.m. on Friday, March 20. Voting, it's a good thing. Authorised by M. Sherry, Electoral Commissioner, Adelaide, South Australia.
Parties, weddings, big events. What do they all have in common? Pals. You know your pals want to have a good time, but what will everyone want to drink? That's when you need to speak to Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals will make sure you've got the right type of drinks, the right amount, and best of all, we'll make sure you've got the best labels that will keep everyone talking about your event. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Step into Lasso Cosmic Cabaret Saloon, perched on the galaxy's edge, where space cowboys, alien drifters, and the legendary rodeo sisters dazzle with out-of-this-world acts. Immerse yourself in spectacular, risque, adults-only circus under the Lasso Saloon. Get your GA ringside booth and cabaret table tickets now. Lasso Cosmic Cabaret opens February 19th, running the whole Fringe season. Tickets at lassotheshow.com.au.
When you think of Adelaide Entertainment Centre, you think of this. Or this. But we also host corporate conferences.
Welcome our guest speaker.
Charity galas. And functions of all shapes and sizes. With unique spaces shared by superstars and limited by only your imagination. Events at Adelaide Entertainment Centre are like no other. Make your next event a superstar experience. Visit Adelaide Entertainment Centre's website.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
4 minutes to 7. Paddy and Em have put together a top 7 before 7 best rangers. Top 7 before 7 best redheads inspired by Ed Sheeran. We'll get to that in just a moment. I'm looking forward to this list. Now, let's talk food. Lots of food talk on a Friday morning, of course, but that continues into the afternoon when Chris Jarmer joins Stacey Lee after 3 o'clock from Jarmer's Kitchen for Foodie Friday. Building or renovating, your first choice, you're visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg and Powers. And speaking of food, we will be talking Democracy sausage in the next hour. Very soon we're going to have information for you about how you can get them on your barbecues for March 21. So much money was raised for our federal election Democracy sausage, and we want to make that a reality for South Australian barbecues and schools and clubs and so forth again for the 2026 state election, all thanks to our great partners at Najobi, who I think may have blown the lid off the sausage market with this rosemary and lamb sausage they've created. It's one of the most delicious sausages I've ever eaten in my entire life.
It's really good.
From their award-winning farm to your table, Najobi delivers premium fresh beef and lamb ethically, locally, effortlessly. Najobi.com.au.
Speaking of meat, it is, of course, Meat Tray Friday. So inspired by the utter garbage that was the late and unlamented Kyle and Jackie O show, the brain-dead Kyle Sandilands and his cackling enabler Jackie O having an on-air falling out, something Will and I would never do, I don't think. Apart from maybe Will's, I think,
I know what you're going to say.
Blasphemous affection for Good Friday football. Did you know? You knew I was going to say that?
Oh, no, I didn't think that. I didn't think you were going there.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were getting a reference. You, in your view, you remember this more strongly than I do. The one time you thought I was really angry at you.
When I didn't come in after Harvest Rock, when you had a 2-month-old baby at home.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it quite how you do, but clearly my face told a different story at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. You never said anything. You're far too polite, but you did have that expression like, "Yeah, thanks for coming in, you jerk." I've had 1 hour's sleep in the last week.
That's excellent. All right, should we do the best 7, top 7 rangers before 7?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
The top 7 before 7.
Number 7's a bit of a shock to me. Vincent van Gogh. I did not know that. Wasn't the hair?
Yeah, totally.
The distinctive
beard.
Yeah, okay. All right. Number 6, Prince Harry.
Yes.
Prince Harry. This says everything about Prince Harry. Number 5, Lindsay Lohan. That's excellent. Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
We'll take it. Julia Gillard, the Prime Minister, sneaking just ahead for a lifetime of public service ahead of a cartoon mermaid. But behind a Geelong tagger. Cameron Ling is in second position. And the number 1 spot is Ed Sheeran, who was in town playing last night. What if any of our listeners were there that got along? If you caught Ed Sheeran, 822 give us a call.
Where was old Christine Hendricks? I would have liked to see her on that list.
You would have liked to see her.
Or indeed anywhere. Yeah. Apparently the Ed Sheeran show was great. I didn't go. I could almost enter him into today's meat tray competition. And I say that with no disrespect because he's clearly hugely talented, just doesn't do it for me. But Kate went with one of her mates and she came home and said it was so good. Heaps of families there, apparently. A lot of kids.
Oh, someone's tried to explain it to me once at the Ed Sheeran show when he records all the backing music while he's on stage.
Does it on loops. Plays it on loops.
He does the loops and records it while you're there.
It's called the Loop Tour.
Well, the tour's called Loop, Paddy tells us.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. If you were there, call in and explain it to us how it works, because apparently it's quite a unique experience.
It works a bit like the 7-second delay when, if you're up against the 7 o'clock news and you suddenly had a braid fade and said the word, you'd hit the delay.
You hit the delay. You wouldn't want to hit the loop.
And that way I wouldn't get sacked.
So I've got my button. Hopefully. My finger's hovering in that direction at all times. 7 o'clock, 5AA News is on the way. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
informing Adelaide for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 27 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
Police have arrested a man and seized firearms in the northern suburbs overnight, just before 1 this morning. They were called to a welfare check on Brady Street at Elizabeth. A 20-year-old man from Burton was arrested with 2 firearms and ammunition seized. He'll face court today. Questions are being raised about why flights getting Australians out of the Middle East aren't full when they take off. Photos have emerged of rows of empty seats on the latest commercial plane, bringing Aussies back to home soil. More than 100,000 citizens are believed to have been stranded by the conflict. Opposition leader Angus Taylor says we need to be doing all we can to get people back.
I mean, there's a lot of questions there. Yeah. I can't answer them, but we do know there's a lot of people there trying to get out.
It's been revealed 2 Australians were inside the US submarine that torpedoed an Iranian frigate off the coast of Sri Lanka. It's understood they were on the vessel as part of the AUKUS training rotation. At least 87 people have died, with many others missing. At the Turkish border, Iranians are driving up to 24 hours to get out of Tehran. This woman says she dodged death.
The air defences do not work at all. When the planes come, there's absolutely nothing. I went to stay with one of my relatives in Tehran Par's neighbourhood. As soon as I arrived, they struck the 4th square of Tehran Par's. I think around 200 or 300 people were killed. It had been completely turned into a crater.
That translation thanks to the BBC. New analysis shows the share of lending to first home buyers has dropped over the past 5 years. ABS data shows the group had a 17.8% share of housing finance commitments. In the December quarter of last year, investors had a 39.7% over the same period. A new pill's on the way that's reportedly more effective than some popular weight loss injectables. Gabrielle Hodson has more.
Eli Lilly has confirmed a new weight loss pill is being evaluated, with a study showing it's more effective than the oral equivalent of Wegovy. The Financial Review says orforglipron contains GLP-1, that is glucagon-like peptide 1, to regulate blood sugar and control appetite. The US company says our Therapeutic Goods Administration is also investigating the drug, but there's no word on if or when we'll see it here. Oral medications are the latest frontier in the booming GLP-1 weight loss market, with an estimated 400,000 Aussies currently using injectables.
Britney Spears has been arrested in California for driving under the influence. The 44-year-old's car's been impounded and she was released about 8 hours later with records listing her occupation as celebrity. Spears recently sold her song catalogue and hasn't performed since 2018. And more than 50,000 people packed Adelaide Oval last night for the final concert of Ed Sheeran's Loop Tour. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. The AFL season has kicked off with a 63-point win for Sydney over Carlton. The Swans trailed by 10 points at halftime, but piled on a stunning 12 goals in the third quarter to secure the result. Gold Coast will tackle Geelong tonight, while the Crows and Port Adelaide don't kick off their seasons until next week. To cricket, SA speedster Henry Thornton says he's thrilled to have claimed a maiden 5-wicket haul to help set up the Shield game against New South Wales at Karen Rolton Oval. The 29-year-old with figures of 5 for 71 as the visitors were dismissed for 269. Thornton has missed recently due to an elbow injury and says he was delighted to play such a key role on day one.
Great result. Nice to be back in this group. Been out for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, nice to just get a decent bowl in. So, hopefully the boys can bowl on the hurt tomorrow.
Yeah, let's hope so. But a blow for SA late in the day with returning Test star Travis Head dismissed for only 5. The home side finishing its stumps at 1 for 20. Meantime, India is through to the T20 World Cup final following a 7-run win against England in their semi-final overnight. The home side smashed 7 for 253 from their 20 overs, but a Jacob Bethel century almost saw England pull off what would have been a miraculous win, but they ultimately fell short. To soccer, and the Matildas will play in the knockout stages of the Asian Cup following a 4-0 rout of Iran overnight. Meantime, Crystal Palace has taken a 1-0 lead against Tottenham in their EPL clash this morning. If Spurs lose, they're only going to be 1 point above the relegation zone. And Aussie Adam Scott has made a strong start at the Arnold Palmer Invitational event, sitting in a tie for 5th at 4 under after his first round. American Daniel Berger leads the way after shooting a stunning round of 9 under. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Warning there at Brown Hill Creek, a breakdown the freeway down track to the Mount Osmond ramp. Burst water made at Marsden, South Road near Everard Avenue this morning. That'll be very slow, so keep that in mind. And at Manningham, fixing that busted Stobie pole from that smash yesterday. North East Road near Ways Road, so that's taken a little bit of time too. Camera, South Terrace, Plimpton Park, and also Wattle Street at Malvern this morning. The big one is back until March 31. Get an unbeatable finance offer across the MY25 X-Trail range. T's and C's apply. Hurry to your Nissan dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
27 and mostly sunny today. The same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Sunny and 27 every day of the long weekend. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 after 7, good morning to you if you're joining us for the first time on this Friday, the 6th of March. Having a bit of fun with the meat tray this morning, thanks to the great Olga's Fine Foods. We love Olga's. They provide great meat trays, great meat, great service. We're asking you, and this has been somewhat cathartic for people, to nominate things that you admit are popular, but you simply don't understand. You get it? We're spied by Kyle and Jackie O, but gee, there have been so many. Someone texted in Seinfeld, which I think is in a sweet spot, where it's just demonstrably hugely popular, but the person said, I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Which is a great entry for the meat tray this morning. 8223 A few texts about Ed Sheeran coming through at the moment as well. Sally says, I went under sufferance, but it was fantastic. My partner went to see the Sydney, came back and bought Adelaide tickets, would definitely go again. There's another one here too.
No Name Given says, took my 9-year-old son to Ed Sheeran last night for his first concert. It was brilliant. He's so clever in how he brings the songs to life with the loop pedal by layering the beats, melodies and backing vocals. Then he plays guitar and sings. He did a couple of his Irish-themed songs with a live band. We loved it. Yeah.
5AA turns 50 a week from tomorrow. Next week's going to be a big day in 5AA's history, remembering 50 years for 5AA, and in the process we've been counting down some iconic moments in SA history.
5AA turns 50. A lot has happened in that time.
For generations of South Australians, the Balfour's Pie Cart outside Adelaide Railway Station was more than a food stop. It was a ritual.
We've had limos pull up with people in dinner suits.
Bankers, accountants, lawyers.
Had families with their kids sitting on the steps eating pie floaters.
Sitting at the city's front door, it served hot pies and pasties to commuters, night shift workers and revellers heading home.
If you're wearing a suit or if you're there in tank top and shorts and thongs.
Open around the clock, the cart became a symbol of convenience and local pride. Though it's gone today, the memory of a Balfour's pie at the station remains an iconic taste of Adelaide.
Connected to our community for 50 years. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Who doesn't have some fond, if not fuzzy, memories of the pie cart?
Yeah, you generally weren't there unless you'd had a couple.
You didn't make a booking exactly, did you?
No, you didn't go there on a date.
No.
Well, maybe you did.
Well, do tell.
Did any of our listeners ever go on a date to the pie cart?
Oh, that would be a story worth telling.
You're thinking romance, you're thinking a sloppy plate of peas.
Not because the food wouldn't necessarily befit a date, but the company, in terms of the other people at the pie cart, may sort of somewhat disturb.
How you going over there? How good are pie floaters, though? I love them. I think it's
I agree.
Excellent
I
dish.
absolutely agree. I think it's a good combo. All right, let's take a Meat Tray Friday call. Andrew in Yorks has called in. Andrew, what's something that's popular that you just don't quite get?
Movies.
What, just all movies?
I cannot believe what the hell makes people go and see a movie. I've got a wife that will sit and watch movies, but I could not spend 5 minutes sitting and watching a movie. In my whole life, I think I've seen 2 movies, and the only one I really enjoyed was Crocodile Dundee.
Well, how bad was the other one?
Well, I can't remember.
Do you watch TV, Andrew? Is it an attention span thing?
It's just a waste of time. Waste of time and money.
This is an excellent call, Andrew. You are well and truly in the running for the Meat Tray. The entire genre of movies.
All of them.
Just irritates
Apart from
Andrew.
Crocodile Dundee.
We've been talking to some people that have had some pretty extraordinary stories. Penny Milton in Doha in the first hour of the program this morning, stuck there trying to go on to see her husband with her family. They were planning to go along to the Paralympics in the Winter Paralympics in Italy, but stuck in Doha. So many stories of people being stuck. It's nice to chat with someone who's managed to get back to Australia. South African comedian Dallin Oliver joins us in the 5AA Breakfast studio. Good morning to you, Dallin.
Well, David, thanks for having me. What's happening?
Your story's amazing. So you were always planning to come to the Adelaide Fringe to perform.
Yes.
You left, as I understand it, with plenty of time to get here and settle in. And then arrived, what? Just before your show was on last night.
I called it the amazing race. So I left Cape Town on Friday the 27th of Feb, 6:30 p.m. flight, land in Dubai at 6 a.m. I take the cheaper flight because you got to make your fun stretch as an artist, right?
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
South Africa's currency is the rand. I love our country, but the currency it's like a vegan in a butchery. It stresses, right? It stresses, it panics. It doesn't have any legs. It's traumatized. But then what happened was I've got friends and family in Dubai, so I said, okay, I'll spend the day with you. The airline's kind enough to give me a hotel if I have a long layover, right? So I was supposed to fly to Adelaide, to come to Adelaide Fringe at 2 a.m. on Sunday, 1 March. But then at 2 p.m., I see, for the first time in my life, I see 2 missiles being intercepted. Yeah.
Wow.
You saw it?
I saw it, but I didn't know I saw it. So this is what happened. We had to buy Expo City. My friend and I is walking. I look up into the sky. His name is Abby. I say, Abby, what's that? Abby wears spectacles. So Abby can't see because his spectacles aren't on. He's like, what do you mean? I say, look in the sky. There's a white trail. I was like, is it firecracker? It was Chinese New Year a few weeks ago. Are they celebrating more? What's happening? Is it the shooting star? And then I just heard, and you saw this white puff, and it still didn't click. So Abby stays in Dubai. Then he started getting messages. Are you okay? This is what happens. And then we realized, oh my word, we'd seen a missile being intercepted.
So you basically landed just as the war started?
Literally, just a couple of hours before it. And I mean, I've never seen a missile live in action yet. So, your brain can't comprehend something when you're going, surely that wasn't that, right? And then a few hours later, about 5 p.m., checked online, my flight was cancelled. I've never had international flight cancelled. I've never been in this space before. On the ground, it's fine in terms of safety, right? So I'm going, okay, what's happening? He's like, don't panic yet. Let's go to the airport. We go to the airport shut down. We get a message, the airspace is shut down. Now I go, guys, this is something that I've never experienced. How do we deal with this? The teams on the ground were very good. They gave us, you got thousands stranded there, right? They gave us snacks and drinks to calm us down, to say this is what's happening. They then shuttled us to hotels and with buses. And they said, you're staying overnight. So now it's indefinitely. You don't know when you're coming back. And then they said, check in with the hotel the next day at 12 o'clock to see what's happening. Checked in. They said, still shut down, airspace, no flights out. But while
were you flying with Emirates?
Emirates, yeah.
Right.
They were very good with communication. They sent airline representatives every morning to come check. These are the flights that are going out. So Monday,
so in person, someone would come and speak to you.
Someone would come to the hotel in person. You'd meet him on the first floor, and then they'd be like, these flights are flying out today. It's limited flights. But on the Saturday and the Sunday, when things were really popping, you'd hear missiles at night. And this was different because it sounded like if you put like a hairdryer or a washing machine or an aeroplane that you can hear but you can't see. So you're looking into the sky but you can't see this aeroplane. And then you read the news the next day, so many missiles were intercepted. And obviously, on the ground, it's safe. I never felt in danger at all. But above sky limits that we have access to. It was popping. And then fortunately, because I was in transit, I was a priority passenger. So what they did was, if your flight was on Tuesday and the shutdown was on Saturday, they said, unfortunately, if you were here in transit on Saturday, then you were a priority. If you were delayed to Tuesday, Wednesday, then you'd have to wait, right? So the morning staff was at the hotel. This is the Wednesday morning, the 3rd of March. And then 5 flights were going out. I think it was Munich, Heathrow, Bengaluru, etc. But then I saw the afternoon that a flight to Sydney had opened up. And then went to the airport. I was like, this is the story. Got there. But then they don't issue tickets at the airport because I assume the system doesn't have access to the online booking system.
Right.
And this is the first trip that I didn't activate my roaming because I was in for a quick pop-in.
Well, yeah, that's right.
It was a layover.
You've been there for a few hours.
Then I had to message my sister and my brother-in-law in South Africa. I said, get onto the line with Emirates. This is their call center line. I can only get my ticket through here. They stayed on the line for about an hour and a half. And then we eventually got through after about 2.5 hours of booking the ticket. The flight is at 2 a.m. At 11:15 p.m. I got my ticket and then I went through.
So you flew to Sydney, then to Adelaide?
Flew to Sydney. It was, you could feel the tension in the flight. Flight was full. It was one of those massive carriers. I spoke to the air hostess, about 500 plus people. And the first 45 minutes to an hour, we flew very low because I assume that's the emergency airspace that you're flying in. So, you know, when you're looking out the window, you're like, oh, there's the city we should be. We're not going.
Right, you can see that.
Yeah, we're not going.
And it was tense on board. People that, no one's pushing the button for another champagne or anything.
No champagne. We're popping, but not champagne. Yeah, you popping, but not champagne. And this was the wild part. Like, while I was at the airport between 8 and 9 p.m., so I fly at 2 a.m. So when there's an alert, the government messages everybody, there's possible attacks, get to shelter. I got 2 alerts while I was at the airport. Messaged my mate who's in Dubai. I said, what do you think? He said, if you get the ticket, stay. I said, okay, cool. I stayed, and fortunately, we landed safely. Just shout out to Border Control as well. They were so kind when we came through, and authorities, because it's a stressful thing for a South African coming through, or anyone to a new country.
Sure.
Right? And they saw I'm coming to Adelaide Fringe. They said, enjoy the show. Good luck. I'm like, thank you, Border Control. Thank you.
I've got to say, admirable commitment to your craft. At no point you went, I'm going home. You went, I need to get to the Adelaide Fringe.
I've been planning this for the past year. I came to Adelaide last year when I went to Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Did an independent show. Yeah, I loved it. The Fringe is great. I've got so many friends that are here. And I was like, I'm halfway around the world in this space. I might as well make the effort, man.
Are you meant to fly back through the Middle East as well, Dylan?
Not a chance, but yes. Not a chance, but yes.
Can you go Perth, Joburg?
Perth, Joburg, yeah. I was laughing. I was going, listen, we South Africans are honest. We got politics, we've got corruption, we've got crime, but we don't have missiles in the sky. So I was like, I'll take my chances, guys. So if all goes accordingly, I'm going Adelaide, Perth, Johannesburg, Cape Town.
How can people get to see tickets to your show, Dallin, to support you coming all this way?
Yeah,
you've come through a war zone to get here.
If you're wondering what I look like Vin Diesel you order on Temu. That's what I look like. There we go. Yeah. Is that a fair? There we go. We got you laughing. Beautiful. So they can go to adelaidefringe.com.au. Dalin, D-A-L-I-N. My mom's name's Linda. They played Scrabble. The show's called 90 Day Comedian. I get a 3-month work visa. Like 90 Day Fiance, people go looking for love. I come looking for punchlines. If you don't laugh, you must adopt me. So one of you guys have to adopt me. Yeah. We had a great first show, and I'd love to see people there. Yeah.
I can't believe it. You got off the plane and did the show last night. It's just a remarkable story.
We made it. Yeah, I've been posting everything online, just the journey from start to finish. And getting to Adelaide, I landed at 3 p.m. yesterday, and my first show was at 7:30 p.m. And yeah, just went. Guys, I had a 10-minute nap at my Airbnb. And you know those deep sleeps you're in? And I haven't slept for like a while because of transit. And I woke up and I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm at Adelaide Fringe. Remember the show. Don't fall asleep on stage. You have one job. Don't sleep on stage. But also the festival's been amazing, with communication and just in general. This is the second biggest Fringe festival in the world, man. Like, shout out to Adelaide and you guys for supporting it as well. Yeah, supporting the arts.
What a great story, mate.
Yeah, remarkable story.
Appreciate
I hope you have an enjoyable but ultimately uneventful time here in Adelaide.
There we go. A peaceful time. Yeah. Please come to the show. I'd love to see you guys there. Yeah.
Gotta say, Cape Town, one of the greatest cities in the world.
Oh, dude, that makes my heart so warm.
I had my honeymoon there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Where were you, if I may ask?
We went to Joburg, and we went to Cape Town, and
Nice.
we went to Stellenbosch, drove
Yes.
around the bottom, went through Khayelitsha and then into Stellenbosch into the wine country.
You did wine country.
I got mugged on Long Street as
Hey,
well.
you had a South African experience. Beautiful. That's good. That's like going to an AFL game. You have to experience something if you come
It was
to
my
Australia.
own silly fault. We went to Long Street to hear some bands, and they
Yes.
said, look, if you have a few cocktails, just don't walk back to the hotel, still get a taxi. 4 cocktails later, I said, I can see the hotel.
Let me
Let's
go.
walk.
Oh, man.
It's
I'm
like,
so
okay,
sorry.
give me all your rand.
Oh, I'm so sorry you got robbed, but I'm glad you enjoyed the city and the
Loved
country.
it. Had a great time.
That warms my heart. Yeah.
Good
Let me
on
know
you,
if you're
mate.
coming, but just don't come via Dubai. Come. Joburg.
Good on you. Dallin, our guest. Good on you, Dallin. Thank you for your time.
Cheers, lads.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Let's check traffic.
Morning there at Brown Hill Creek and a breakdown to look out for this morning. The freeway down track to the Mount Osmond Rapid. No great delays, which is good. Marsden has a burst of water main to look out for. South Road near Everard Avenue. That will get slow today. And a 2-car collision at Anglevale to keep in mind. Heastley Road and Anglevale Road. Early morning camera at Wattle Street, Malvern. Sane has helped people navigate complex mental health for 40 years. If you or someone you care for needs free information, recovery support or community connection, visit sane.org today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Can someone tell me why fuel prices have jumped in the past few days? No supply of oil has been stopped or delayed so far. Unless I'm sadly mistaken, all the fuel at the servos in the tanks below ground was bought at pre-war prices. In 2 words, price gouging.
Graham Goodings.
The ACCC should haul some of these operators before the Commission would please explain.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
It's been a busy 4 years for Labor. We returned our trains and trams to public hands and made them cheap for students and free for seniors. We introduced tougher penalties for child sex offenders. We rescued Whyalla and 1,000 jobs at Bedford. We grew our energy supply to 75% renewable, on track for 100 next year. We opened 5 new technical colleges and celebrated our first graduating class. We fought to get Gather Round and Live Golf. Oh, and Katie too. All that in just 4 years. Imagine 4 more. Authorised A. Burke, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Some milk on our shelves travels further than you do on holiday. Not milk from FIVEAA Milk Company. Our milk is proudly homegrown, home bottled and delivered straight from the rolling paddocks of South Australia's Fleurieu Peninsula. Freshness isn't a buzzword for us. We live and breathe it 24 hours a day. When you buy from Fleurieu Milk Company, you're supporting our incredible farming families and doing SA proud. Look for Fleurieu Milk Company in your supermarket.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing, free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villies. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
That feeling of a crowd rising up as one as the footy soars in the air. That feeling of a hushed stadium erupting into a roar. If you feel it, you're in on it. Get your 2026 Toyota AFL Premiership season tickets today.
There's your mark of the year.
Get in on it at tickets.afl.
If you've been thinking about downsizing, but the idea of leaving your neighbourhood is the biggest sticking point, Metro Homes, one of Adelaide's leading builders, has a really smart solution. Instead of selling up and moving away, you can subdivide your block and build 2 homes.
It means you get to move into a fresh, brand new home designed to suit your lifestyle now and right next door at an investment property, or you can sell the other home.
That's rental income or a place for family or long-term financial security. You're living in the same street, same neighbours, same coffee shop that you've been going to for years.
You'll enjoy more financial freedom and a home that fits the way you live today. Downsizing? Well, find out more by contacting Metro Homes on 8100 0999 or visit metrohomessa.com.au.
Build like a brick house. Basic Trailers make quality trailers of all sizes here in Adelaide. Made with Australian steel, you get 12 months warranty and factory direct pricing across SA. Visit basictrailers.com.au. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
Hey guys, you want to try something epic? The Big Wedgie Inflatable Water Park is back. Trust me, you need to check this out. The Big Wedgie Inflatable Water Park at West Beach has stacks of awesome slides. There's the big wedgie and the big chucker for the absolute thrill seekers, and the little wedgie for the little tackers, and just the right wedgie for the ones in between. You'll be spewing if you miss it, so don't. Open all summer at West Beach Parks. Book your tickets now at thebigwedgie.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
"26 minutes after 7, Meat Tray Friday, thanks to the wonderful Olga's Fine Foods. Asking you this morning about things that you appreciate are popular, but you just don't understand yourself. Wendy and Elizabeth, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. It's been a fun morning. I'm thoroughly enjoying listening to you.
Thank you, Wendy.
I don't get it why you would run in front of a raging bulls.
Well, David might be able to explain that.
Really, please, David, say something, because I can't think of any other death wish other than getting gnawed by bulls.
Pamplona?
No, I think there's a real logic to it, Wendy. I think you do it for the exhilaration. Hemingway wrote about it. It's the presence of death, the knowledge that you could die, the endorphin rush, the camaraderie, and the intoxication.
I'm with Wendy. Frankly.
That's my pitch for
you didn't sell
live
it to
read
me.
for the Pamplona Tourism Board.
No, very few of those words sounded particularly attractive to me. Ange in Two Wells, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Round 0 of the AFL footy season. What a load of rubbish that was last night, boys. There was, 12,000 people there. Haven't they learned to put back Carlton on a Thursday night? And 18,000 at the NRL. If you're going to tackle the NRL a week earlier, put a blockbuster game on a Thursday night. You know, it was terrible. Did you guys watch it all last night?
I watched the third quarter.
Yeah, I saw the second half.
The third quarter was pretty entertaining, I thought.
But seriously, so I read, and maybe one of our listeners will be able to correct me on this. I read yesterday that the season this year started 2 days earlier than the year that we had to shift the entire season earlier because of the Sydney Olympics.
Yeah.
Paddy's saying that's accurate. So
I've just called up the Daily Telegraph, the preeminent newspaper in
front
Sydney.
page.
Well, I'm looking at the website.
Swans Rampage?
I'm scrolling all the way
Swan
down.
Song?
All the way down, all the way down. Opinion. Minns will be a tough act for next Labor leader to follow. That's there. Then there's Block Star weighs in on Middle East war. I support Trump, with a picture of a
hang on, sorry,
buxom lady Susie Taylor getting the girls out.
Sorry,
I'm still looking for the Sydney Swans on the Daily Telegraph homepage. There's that Alan Jones miscreant outside court. Terrorist handbook, bomb instructions found at New South Wales home. Bit of southwestern Sydney action. Oh, hang on. Here we go. The very bottom of the website, Kerno's brutal reminder to Blues on
there
Spite
you go.
Night. They did manage to get
anything. Front page of the website.
Just before the horoscopes.
Sometimes I'm not sure whether we're doing media right or wrong, but we in our meetings it hasn't come up to do block stars on Middle East war yet.
No, that's what we call clickbait back at news.com. That'll probably be one of the most read things on the website,
which is
because of the photograph.
All right. 5AA News is on the way. On the other side of it, we're off to Canberra. Michael Packy will recap the biggest news stories of the week in the nation's capital.
Get the outdoor living that you want at Garden Grove. Entertaining in the garden? Come and explore the range of new and beautiful outdoor furniture, water features, garden pots and giftware. It's everything you want. Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I
Phone
want.
8251 1111 for delivery to all areas. Open 7 days.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 27 today. With the 7:30 news, I'm Jess Adamson.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations. physioextra.com.
A unit's been destroyed by a blaze in the western suburbs overnight. Senior Constable Daniel Isaacson has told David and Will police and fire crews were called to Martin Court at Ottaway at 1 this morning. Luckily, no one was injured.
Fire cause investigators attended to examine the scene and investigations are ongoing. So we're just asking if anybody's seen anything or has any information to give us a buzz on Crime Stoppers, 1800 333 000.
The Prime Minister's confirmed Australian military assets have been sent to the Middle East amid the ongoing conflict. Anthony Albanese says they're in the region as a contingency. 2 Australian soldiers were on board a US submarine which sank an Iranian frigate in the Indian Ocean near Sri Lanka. Fuel prices are surging across the country, with opportunistic retailers being called out for price gouging. Carla Tuma reports.
If you filled up last week, you may have already noticed the difference at the Bowser. Across the capitals, prices have jumped sharply in just a matter of days. According to the ACCC, on February 27, the average price was just over $1.85 a litre in Sydney and just over $2 in both Melbourne and Brisbane. Fast forward to today, and Price Spy data shows motorists are paying around $2.16 in Sydney, $2.11 in Melbourne and $2.16 in Brisbane. The former head of the ACCC, Rod Sims, says attempts to blame these increases on the conflict in Iran just don't add up. He says any fuel companies using the conflict as a smokescreen should be investigated.
The federal government is set to announce a boost in aged care beds across the country, with South Australia among the winners. $115 million will be spent through the Aged Care Capital Assistance Program in Adelaide, Perth and New South Wales. The initiative's aimed at giving older Australians access to care when they need it, as well as reducing pressure on our hospitals. It's unclear exactly how many beds will be built. From Monday, Aussies won't be able to watch explicit material unless they can prove their age. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Porn, R-rated video games and explicit AI chatbots will be out of bounds for Australians from next week, with no adult content allowed unless you can prove you're an adult yourself. SMH The Age says the operators of everything from search engines to social media, app stores and AI must take steps to prevent kids accessing inappropriate content, and that also includes extreme violence and self-harm. Fail that and they'll cop a $49.5 million fine for every breach. The E-Safety Commissioner says services will need to have accurate and reliable age assurance methods similar to the ones used for under-16 social media.
A new study has found social media is influencing Australians' financial decisions. 1 in 5 people say they've purchased a big-ticket item like a car or a holiday after seeing the item on socials. And Ed Sheeran's wrapped up his 17-concert loop tour with a sellout performance at Adelaide Oval. Now turning to 5AA Sports.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. The second half demolition has seen Sydney start the year in style with a 63-point win against Carlton at the SCG. The Blues led by 10 points at half-time, but the Swans turned things around with 18 goals to 6 to notch up the win. Swans coach Dean Cox says Jai Sarong and former Carlton key forward Charlie Curnow both impressed in their debuts with the club.
He was one of our better players in the first half when we were really challenged. It was always going to be mostly about Charlie, but I couldn't be prouder of what those two players have done over the summer since they've been at our footy club. The work they've put in, they're great humans. You know, they deserve to represent the club tonight, and they did it really well.
The Matildas have worked their magic with a 4-0 Asian Cup win against Iran on the Gold Coast. It's a quick turnaround ahead for Australia, who are now en route to Sydney for their final Group A clash with the Korea Republic. Well, things are looking grim meantime for Tottenham as they face the very real possibility of relegation this season. Spurs led 1-0 after a Crystal Palace goal was disallowed, but they then had a man sent off and have just conceded 3 goals in 10 minutes.
Clip towards Sarr, and he might get there, he has! It is 3-1. I'm not sure if they're leaving the stadium or leaving to find something in the bars which might lift their mood.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Audio thanks to Stan Sport. Palace leading 3-1 heading into the second half. And in some cricket to finish, South Australia will resume at 1 for 20 today after New South Wales made 269 on day one of their Shield clash at Karen Rolton Oval. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Morning there. A couple of things to look out for on South Road this morning. Seeing's a bit of a mess. Got a burst water main at Marks and South Road near Everard Avenue. Also got a road plate still getting fixed South Road, Raglan Avenue, just near the shopping centre. That'll be very slow this morning. And look out for activity at Brown Hill Creek, a breakdown getting sorted. Freeway down track near the Mount Osmond ramp. Camera, Wattle Street, Malvern. Last chance, Adelaide. Final tickets are now on sale from $89.90 for Lincoln Park this March. Head to livenation.com.au for tickets. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Now the 5AA forecast, 27 and mostly sunny today. The same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, sunny and 27 every day of the long weekend. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Harvey Norman loves the footy. Kick off the season with a new TV. Save over $850 on Samsung 75-inch mini LED TV, now $2,142. Or upsize the action with a Hisense 85-inch QLED TV, now $1,588. For stadium surround sound, save over $300 on JBL 7.1 channel soundbar, now $691. And get halftime drinks sorted with Westinghouse 496-litre French door fridge, now just $1,488. Kick off the footy season with more in store at Harvey Norman now.
Don't miss Mazda's final 2025 plate clearance. It's your last chance to get incredible drive-away deals across select 2025 models. Like the top-of-the-range Mazda BT50 SP, now from $68,990 drive away. Or get the job done with the worksite-ready BT50 XT 4x4 dual cab from $55,990 drive away. Be quick, limited stock available. Head into your local dealer today. The final Mazda plate clearance ends soon. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See Mazda.com.au for details.
If your lawn's looking thin, patchy or just plain tired, let's be honest, grabbing whatever's on special at the hardware store probably isn't going to fix it. There is, David, a better way.
This stuff is great. Lawn Hub's Lawn Care Essentials Pack. It's made properly. You get 5 pro-grade lawn treatments, the same sort used on stunning world-class golf greens, just packaged for home lawns like yours and mine.
And here's what everyone loves. It comes with an easy-to-follow application calendar. It literally tells you what to use and when. 4 simple steps. Lawn Hub is South Australian owned, and these products are locally developed for Aussie conditions. It's not mass-produced shelf fillers.
And right now, how good is this? What about this? Every single order placed during March puts you in the draw to win an Allett cylinder mower worth nearly $5,000. This is the Lamborghini of lawnmowers. Your order is your entry. Order direct online now at lawnhub.com.au. T's and C's apply.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
From Cairns to Canberra, Perth to Port Macquarie, you can rely on Red Spot to provide the perfect ride for your next holiday. We're the only Aussie family-owned and operated car rental company in airport terminals and cities all over Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
This Mad March, Adelaide comes together for one massive celebration. Racing, fashion, music and performers collide at Mad March's main event, the Sportsbet Adelaide Cup. From champagne pours and front row views to Club Largo, CC Giddy Up Club and Family Zone fun. Kids under 17 free. Trackside after racing, Shannon Knoll and the Jungle Giants DJ set. General admission from $35. Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, Monday, March 9 at Morfettville.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 8. We're off to the nation's capital shortly. Michael Packey for 9 Radio will join us. 8223 is the number if you'd like to jump into the Meat Tray Friday this morning. We're having a lot of fun with this. I think our listeners feel good being getting an opportunity to talk about the things that everyone finds popular except them. That's the better way. That's the best way of putting it. Thanks to Olga's Fine Foods. You don't have to be openly hostile to the thing. It must be a head scratcher for you, like somebody who's texted us saying they're off to see Adelaide United tonight, never understood Australian rules football. They don't say it's garbage, they don't hate it, it's just not for them, don't get it. 8223 text us on 0448 08 1395, breaking 8 after 8 o'clock, and then a little bit later, Feedback Friday, we'll count down the top 5 moments of the week. And we will talk petrol after 8 o'clock. Might be a chance for a bit of a nearest to the pin. It could be a painful nearest to the pin that we're going to play because the price continues to go up. It went up significantly whilst you've been sleeping. The oil barrel price.
Has it cracked $2 yet locally?
I can have a look at that right now if you like. I was just looking at the wholesale price.
You're looking at the West Texas crude, were you?
Yeah, I was actually looking at Brent crude. But West Texas has gone up $6.
What did West Texas do to lose your affections?
Well, apparently Brent is a better... the movements of Brent crude correlate better with the change in petrol prices in a retail sense in Australia.
Like David Brent.
David Brent is excellent. Brent crude, not so excellent at the moment. Up $4, $85 a barrel, up 5% overnight. West Texas up 8%. All right, enough of that, David Brent. Let's go to Canberra. Michael Packy joins us to talk about this last week in federal politics. Pack, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pembo. How are you, Will?
We are good, thank you, Pack. Hey, mate, can I just throw you a bit of a question without notice? Normally we have elections here in South Australia, and outside of our fine state, nobody really gives a rat's. But there's probably quite a bit of interest in what's going to happen here on March 21st in Canberra, isn't there?
I think there'll be a lot of interest what happens there on March the 21st. There's no doubt about it. You've got these poll after poll now. There's a little bit of a trend emerging now that shows that One Nation is really gaining in this surge of popularity. It's just continuing, really giving the coalition, the Liberals, I suppose, more in South Australia, a real fright. And I do think that everyone will be watching how One Nation performs in that state election. Then we're going to have the FIVEAA by-election on May the 9th. Then there's the Victorian election later this year. But all eyes will be on SA on March 21st to see is this surge in popularity that we're seeing from One Nation, is that going to be able to be replicated at the polling booths? And isn't the suggestion that, from what I understand, that One Nation in SA could win as many as 8 to 10 seats, something like that? They could become more than likely the official opposition. So people will.
I'm
be
not sure
watching.
about the seats. I'm not sure about winning that many seats, but the damage that they could do by splitting the Liberal vote
splitting the vote.
And what you said then about FIVEAA, I mean, that's going to be interesting because it's going to be like a four-way fight, isn't it? Labor, Nats, Liberal, One Nation. There's going to be a lot of seats like that where votes are flying around in all directions.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And this is the thing that they're talking about now. And I know we can gets into a little bit of the weeds. It's where these preference flows go. So, if you vote Liberal 1, are you going to put One Nation 2? Or are you going to put Liberal 1, Labor 2 potentially, or Liberal 1, Nats 2? A lot of it's going to really depend on the preference flows for One Nation, and that's why some people are suggesting the damage that One Nation can do to the Liberals is that even if they don't necessarily win a seat, they potentially could see an independent or Labor inadvertently win the seat if they contest it as well.
Yeah, totally.
Michael, first opportunity for Angus Taylor to have a crack at the government in question time this week, the new Liberal leader. What was your assessment of how well the Libs went trying to take some paint from the government?
Okay, this is what I'd say about this. I think they were disciplined in the sense that they decided to go in each day and have this quote-unquote theme of what they were going to talk about. So first couple of days was what's the government doing about the ISIS brides? And then they sort of like moved into the economy and that sort of thing. So they had this theme where every time a coalition person, whether it be a Liberal or a National, asked a question, it was generally about the same topic. But I still don't think that they really did lay any sort of a glove on Anthony Albanese. And it was very interesting this week that we had this analysis by Dennis Shanahan, who writes for The Australian, and he highlighted the poor quality of question time over the past week and suggested that the opposition's tactics were essentially flawed. And I do think that that was right, because every time that they spoke about the ISIS brides, all that the government did was they highlighted the fact that when the coalition was in power, 40 people from Syria were brought back into the country. So they kept on turning the tables back on the government and back on Angus Taylor and previous decisions that he made either as a minister or as a shadow minister. I think that the fact that we got a war underway and, you got stranded Australians in various parts of the Middle East. You got inflation. Just before we came on air, you guys were talking about the price of petrol. All those sorts of things are unfolding, and they're real issues that are affecting everyday Australians. It doesn't appear that the coalition really focused on those issues at all or held the government to account on those issues at all, because they were more focused on the theme of the day. And as I said, for most part of the week, it was mainly about the ISIS brides. And I just don't know that story is really going anywhere anymore. And the government is saying, we're not repatriating them, and that's it.
When you've got pretty much every major economist and bank and the Reserve Bank itself in its usual nudge, nudge, wink, wink way, talking about government expenditure, size of government and the pressure that's putting on inflation, it would seem to be a target-rich environment for the Libs to pick off some questions around that.
Absolutely, 100%. And look, they tried to do it, and I think what muddied the waters later in the week is that there were suggestions that Tim Wilson, who's the new shadow treasurer, allegedly had some sort of investment, which he's had to get rid of, where he made more money as the Australian economy or as the Australian share market did worse. So it was some sort of investment vehicle that he had. And so, again, you had, as soon as they tried to bring these sorts of things up, as I said, later in the week, yesterday and Wednesday, they asked a few questions around the economy. You had people like Jim Chalmers, the treasurer, that threw that back at them. So they really need to fix up how they're going to be asking questions, maybe move on from the theme and have a few different questions about a few different issues and, maybe that's what they need to do rather than just simply say, well, today we're just going to be talking about this one issue and all the questions that we asked, whether they be Liberal MPs or National MPs, are going to be about the same thing, because they were bashed up by the government on a fair few occasions, with the government essentially throwing things back at them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Pack. Michael Packy, Nine Radio politics reporter in Canberra.
You asked about petrol prices, whether we're seeing them around $2. Well, our listeners have responded. Brian says the Caltex on Port Road's at $1.99, and Barry says the Caltex OG Road $2.3.9. So it is jumping up. I just had a look at the RAA's Fuel Watch website. You can still get it for $1.89 in the inner west and some of the northeast, but
not for long though. You wouldn't.
$1.99 is starting to look like your sort of average point at the airport. You can get $1.87.9. There's $1.87. Geez, it's jumped up really quickly though, and it's going to continue jumping up. We'll talk more about that in the next hour of the program. Andrew and Seaton's called in with a Meat Tray Friday entry. Andrew, what's something that you admit's popular, but you just don't get?
Well, I've got a couple of options, but the first one I'll very quickly mention that you gave me a hint before was David Brent, the character.
Oh.
I love Ricky Gervais. I reckon he's one of the most talented people on earth, but if I watch The Office and I see David Brent, I have to turn it off. I can't watch it.
Is it because it's not funny or because it's so cringeworthy it makes you feel uncomfortable?
Cringeworthy. Just can't do it. And it's same with the American version of the same show.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't even watched the Australian version, so I can't,
apparently it's not great.
The one that I rang for is the Royal Adelaide show.
Oh, okay.
Now, I realise at this point someone's going to line me up in front of a firing squad to say...
No, this is a safe space for the Meat Tray this morning, Andrew.
Okay. Right, as a kid, I went all the time, went with my friends, loved it, had a great time. And I reckon the last time I consistently went, I was probably, 18, maybe 18, 19. And then my girlfriend, now wife, and I, we did not go for a number of years, probably 4 or 5 years, and then we went once, and then we sort of walked out thinking, nah, that's just rubbish, not going. And, of course, we've had children since then.
Yeah.
And, of course, one of the social obligations comes with children. So for the first 5 years, you get away scot-free, and because they're too young to take and it's too much of a challenge. But as you'll find out, Will and Dave, you already know, when your kids go to school, they hear about it. Yeah, like for a year or so, we ran a media blackout. We just turned the TVs off during September. We avoided all sorts of media, and then we were been lucky enough when about that 6-7 year old range to have the opportunity to take the kids away. I went up Gold Coast a few times, and we were lucky enough to go to the theme parks and so on up there. And of course, once they got aware of it, we'd sort of sit there. Oh, but we're going to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
To Dreamworld or a Movie World. And so, you want to go to the show or movie? Oh, we want to go to Movie World. Oh, yeah. So that was fine. And then one year we didn't have a trip to sort of barter with. So I think I'll probably get done by some sort of negotiation body at this stage, but I think I bought out their rights for $20 each. And
cheaper than the show.
Oh yeah, well,
he's everything.
But by the time the kids got to 10 or 11, I was half expecting a sort of a visit from some sort of child services body to sort of say, now, we understand, sir, that you've been depriving your children of one of the basic human rights in Australia. I was waiting to get done for this, and it thankfully didn't happen. But
we won't even ask you what you think of the Christmas pageant, mate, because that you might actually get deported.
No, I took them once, and in fairness, they enjoyed it. They were young. I've been a couple of times as a kid, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But in fairness, it's not there to absolutely rifle through your pockets, sort of like Jim Chalmers on a bad day.
Andrew, that was an excellent case. Well made. 8 minutes to 8.
Things that camp.
Things are the popular that. I struggle with it. I admit, it's I don't have the same. There's not a Will's Plant
back
Pavilion.
in September when we're doing the promos for it.
I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
What do you think of the Christmas carols, though?
I'm going to plead the fifth on every. Do we have that right in Australia? Anyway,
didn't we ask Grant Stevens that the other day? You cannot answer.
Oh, there you go.
Questions?
I'm exercising my right not to answer. Let's check traffic.
Morning there. South Road's a bit of a schmozzle this morning. Couple of things to look out for. A burst water main at Marston, South Road near Everard Avenue. And they're still fixing that road plate near Raglan Avenue on South Road, just opposite Castle Plaza. So she'll be really slow along South Road this morning. How unusual. Brown Hill Creek, a breakdown to look out for. Freeway down track near the Mount Osborne Ramp and a Canberra South Terrace, Plimpton Park. Get a triple points boost on every shop in-store or online at Woolworths. Just boost the offer in the Everyday Rewards app. It's March 13. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Sharing in the moments that shaped our state.
Just about well, the siren, the other sound.
Always Adelaide for 50 years. This is 5AA.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
Now, there's nothing quite like discovering a hidden gem, especially when it leads to your new favourite bottle of wine. I love this winery. Thornclark Wines, located in the Barossa, just outside of Angaston, up the top there. It's a family-owned boutique winery that combines tranquility with perfectly curated wine.
I've been thinking about this. The way you approach the trip to Thornclark is sometimes you think, I'm going to the Barossa, I'll visit Thornclark Wines. I think what you actually need to do is visit Thornclark Wines and then drop in on the Barossa because you'll be saying, why haven't I been here before? The gardens are amazing. There's panoramic views. You enjoy a wine tasting customised to you while enjoying a platter of local Barossa Valley produce.
And it's so much fun. Great for the kids or with mates as well because they've got a driving range overlooking the Eden Valley Vineyard so you can swing a 9-iron and then go and take home a few bottles from their Sandpiper and Shotfire ranges especially. This is superb. Will and I tasted some the other day, the new Shotfire Collector's Heritage Edition Shiraz.
Next time you head to the Barossa Valley, go the extra mile. Make Thornclark Wines your first stop. Cellar door open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m, Friday to Sunday.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth the trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Barossa Mazda in Uriutpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low-kilometre CX-5, CX-30, Mazda 3 and BT50. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth the trip to Barossa Mazda. View our whole range of Mazda at steinborner.com.au.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the Lynn Andrews team have made it easy for landlords to manage residential and commercial property. From single homes to multiple commercial holdings, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge. How to do it safely and properly, matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
3 minutes to 8. We are approaching Election Day in South Australia, which to 5AA Breakfast listeners means your opportunity to get the 5AA Breakfast Democracy Sausage, all thanks to Najobi. From their award-winning farm to your table, Najobi delivers premium fresh beef and lamb ethically, locally, effortlessly. Najobi.com.au. It is an institution that we're just a small part in the proud history of the democracy sausage, of course, in this country. Our version is taking the marketplace by storm, but it has become a regular feature of the expression of your democratic right here in Australia. That's something that is being catalogued by Campbell Rhodes, for the curator of the Museum of Australian Democracy. Campbell, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, Campbell, it's quite entrenched as a term now, democracy sausage, but it's a relatively recent term, isn't it?
Yeah, it only dates from about 2010 as far as we can tell. There was a blog called Snag Votes that started in Brisbane that year for the federal election, tracking where the sausage sizzles were around the city. And it caught on very fast. And by 2016, the National Dictionary Centre had made it the word of the year. So the term is quite new, but the concept of selling food at a polling station is much, much older.
What do you think it is about the term that resonates with people? Because it suggests a degree of sort of like happiness to live in a civilised and orderly country and to be able to queue up to vote without armed guards and grab a snag while you're there.
Yes, it does. And it's also ever so slightly silly, which I think is probably part of the appeal as well. And people I've spoken to from other countries find the whole concept very charming but very confusing. I think it's just it's a popular term for all of those reasons, but it's a popular thing to do. And when you think about it, all it really is a kind of market forces at work in a sort of captive market. You have to go and vote. So most people turn up. They turn up in the morning. And it's a great way of being part of your community. That's, most of our polling places are schools. So, you capture the local community, and a lot of them put on their fates at the same time because why not? It's, everyone's going to be there.
Well, it's probably got some origins too in a long history. You think about, the Green and Gold cookbook, the Aerophos and Barossa Valley cookbooks. Like often they were written, you see E. Harris from Tanunda has put in her chutney recipe, and a lot of these things were eating in the town square, weren't they?
Yeah, and there were cake stalls and so forth at polling places. We have photos of that sort of thing going on well before the term democracy sausage came along. We're sort of the early 20th century we're talking about. And remembering, of course, that since 1924, compulsory voting has meant that the turnout has been much higher. I think the popularity of it and the enduringness of it is a combination of just the circumstances under which we offer it and the sort of slightly eccentric nature of the idea of voting and getting a sausage.
Yeah.
And since the 1980s, when we've had pop-up barbecues because of the portable gas barbecue coming in, it's replaced the sort of cake stall as the number one thing that you turn up to do, apart from voting.
Yeah, something to be cherished. Good on you, Campbell. Campbell Rhodes, the curator of the Museum of Australian Democracy.
Connected to our community for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 27 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
A teenage P-plater who overtook a police officer on the Southern Expressway while travelling at 144 k's an hour has lost his licence for 12 months. The 19-year-old from Plimpton Park was pulled over at 2 p.m. yesterday. Police say he was doing more than 60 k's over the 80 k an hour limit. His Subaru hatchback's been impounded. Another driver's lost his licence for 12 months after he was caught drink driving at Maitland. Police were called to Robert Street yesterday afternoon amid reports the Port Victoria man was swerving all over the road. The 54-year-old blew .199. He'll face court later. Australia's limited fuel reserves are being questioned as the conflict continues to affect global fuel supply. Australia is reportedly the only member of the International Energy Agency that doesn't meet the international standard of 90-day reserves. Centre for Independent Study spokesman Aidan Morrison says we have indirect exposure to the Gulf's oil supply.
Singapore, South Korea, Malaysia, India, those countries make up the majority of our refined imports. And those countries, they do get a lot of their oil, not all of it, but probably more than half of it does come from the Gulf region.
Concerns are being raised about why flights to get Australians out of the Middle East aren't full to capacity. About 100,000 Aussies are believed to be stranded in the region as the conflict escalates. Another flight is making its way back from the area. A building blitz will be carried out to increase the number of aged care beds to ensure older Australians aren't stranded in hospitals. Perth and Adelaide, along with the Illawarra and Hunter regions of New South Wales, are the main areas being targeted. Aged Care Minister Sam Rayes says it's critical bed shortages are addressed.
We'll open expressions of interest so we can understand across each of those hotspot areas what the best projects are in terms of the number of beds that we can get online and the speed at which we can get them online.
Australian adults will soon have to prove their age to access pornography, R-rated video games and explicit AI chatbots. From Monday, platforms will be required to take meaningful steps to prevent children from being exposed to inappropriate content. New laws aimed at protecting South Australian workers against antisocial behaviour will come into effect in May. Attorney General Kaya Ma says individuals can be barred from entering some workplaces.
Every single South Australian should be able to feel they can go to work and come home safely. These workplace protection laws will help ensure that happens.
Around 3/4 of Australian women say they've had a negative experience at a GP checkup. A House of Wellness poll also found more than half felt their appointments were too short, with similar numbers feeling unheard. Dr. Ariela Heffernan-Marks says the profession needs to rethink women's health.
RACGP recently advocating for longer appointments for complex or chronic conditions, including obviously women's health. So I think the call to action here is longer appointments, patient-centred care, continuity of care, giving women time to tell their stories. It's also giving women the tools to actually advocate for themselves.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. Sydney has kick-started the AFL season with a 63-point win against Carlton at the SCG. The Swans trailed by 10 points at halftime but turned things around with a stunning 12-goal third quarter. Coach Dean Cox said he had full faith his players could turn things around.
We've got a lot of confidence in the work we've done over the summer, and the players have put a huge amount of work into being as fit as they possibly can, and it showed by the way that they could finish the game off.
The season continues tonight, Gold Coast hosting Geelong. Let's get to cricket. South Australia is in a solid position heading into day 2 of its crucial Shield clash against New South Wales at Karen Rolton Oval. SA to resume at 1 for 20 after dismissing the visitors for 269 on day 1. Henry Thornton the star with 5 wickets. Meantime, India has won through to the T20 World Cup final after a 7-run win over England. They'll now meet New Zealand in the final. To soccer, and Adelaide United will celebrate Ryan Kitto's 250th appearance for the club tonight when the Reds host Wellington Phoenix at Cooper Stadium. The Reds are currently 4th, but will jump to 3rd with a win. The Matildas, meantime, have piled on the goals in a 4-0 rout of Iran in their Asian Cup clash overnight. Meantime, there's about 20 minutes to play in the EPL clash between Tottenham and Crystal Palace. Paris currently leading that one 3-1. To basketball, Melbourne United has kept its NBL season alive after an 82 to 68 point win against the Tassie Jack Jumpers. United will now take on the Perth Wildcats for the final spot in the semi-finals. One game in the NRL overnight, the Melbourne Storm pumping Parramatta 52-4. American Daniel Berger is the man to catch late in round 1 of the Arnold Palmer Invitational event in Florida after shooting a stunning 9-under round. Adam Scott only 5 shots back in a tie for 5th, while Minwoo Lee has also started well and is 3-under. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Morning there. She's a bit of a dog's breakfast on South Road this morning. Got a burst water main at Marsden to look out for just near Everard Avenue. And they're still fixing that road plate on South Road near Raglan Avenue near Castle Plaza. That'll be very slow this morning. Do have a breakdown to look out for at Brown Hill Creek Freeway down track near the Mount Osborne ramp and a camera Foster's Road, Oakton. Need car insurance? Get $50 off Amy Comprehensive Car Insurance when you get a quote and buy online. T's and C's apply. Lucky you're with Amy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
27's the top today and the same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Sunny and 27 every day of your long weekend. Right now it's 15 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. We've been helping Adelaide buyers and sellers for over 40 years. That's why so many South Australians look to us for real estate advice. Right now, in our Toop Vault, we're working with 8,794 buyers in Norwood, 7,809 in Rose Park and 7,751 in Toorak Gardens, all searching for their perfect property in these specific locations. If you're thinking of selling, visit toop.com.au.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Win one of 6 fantastic Mahindra cars, plus 50 petrol vouchers valued at $1,000 each. Buy the advertiser from now until March 8, find the code word and enter at winwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply. SAT 25/2116.
Is your lawn a chore or a pleasure? If you're watching the clock, it's a chore.
If you're watching the lines, it's a pleasure. At Mowers Plus Salisbury, we're here for the pleasure seekers. And if it's a chore for you, we're here to make it easier. We stock all the big brands too, including Still, Toro, Masport, Victor and more. And we service everything, including cylinder mower grinding and all types of blade sharpening. Google Mowers Plus Salisbury and trust your garden to us.
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes Ace.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices. Gotcha. A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
All right, you ABBA tragics, this one's for you. Get ready for a night of music, fun, and full throttle ABBA madness like never before. Dancing Queen, the ABBA tribute show, is the interactive dinner experience that takes the magic of ABBA to the next level.
My, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Treat yourself to a high-energy, immersive experience where you won't just watch the show, you'll live it. This isn't just a tribute, it's a party. Whether you're an ABBA superfan like Will or you just love a good time, this glamorous, fun-filled extravaganza will have you laughing, singing and dancing all night long.
So grab your sequins, round up your dancing queens and get ready for an unforgettable night of ABBA-fueled excitement. Dancing Queen, the ABBA tribute show, March 10 to 15. Book at fringetix.com.au.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing. Free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villies. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in a moment. Feedback Friday after 8:30. If you'd like to participate, it's as simple as calling Paddy and Em on 8223 0000 and registering your interest. 4 simple questions, no wrong answers, 3 terrific prizes. We'll get into that after 8:30. We're going to meat trader giveaway as well, thanks to Olga's Fine Foods. We're asking you, inspired by the spectacular breakup of the Kyle and Jackie O show, what's something that you know is popular that you just don't get? Robbie in Hyde Park's called in. Morning, Robbie.
Oh, good morning, boys. I hate to upset people, but this is something that just really irritates me. I just don't get how people can sit there for hours and hours and hours and watch this, is the cricket. I just don't get it. Sitting at a members bar and not watching cricket, and then it just irritates me. It goes for so long, but people love it. It's like watching paint dry.
Can I ask, Robbie, do you have a significant other or family members that are big cricket fans? Because it sounds like you've been scarred.
I have been scarred. My mum and dad watch the cricket, but they don't go into the members bars. They absolutely love it. They think it's the best time of the year. I just don't get it. I find it irritating, boring. And I know people love it, so I apologise to the people that love the cricket. But
no need to apologise.
People love it. I can't stand it. I don't get it.
No, you don't have to get it, Robbie.
No, that's a great call, Robbie. That is a terrific nomination. I agree with Robbie in part. I love Test cricket, but for me, Test cricket's the kind of thing that is the soundtrack to summer. It's on the TV, it's on your radio in the car, it's on when you're around the house on the radio. You know, it's kind of just there. I'm not massive of going to the cricket.
Oh, yeah, I've never been a member. I don't get the whole out the back thing. It feels like a sort of, get together for people at the Saints and PAC to me. Not enough Marion High people out the back, but the I find the watching of it, it's like yoga. I go into a sort of Buddhist-like state. I can sit there. I like watching someone grinding away, scoring 23 in a session.
Oh, I think there's nothing better than a hot summer's day on the couch and you just drift off to sleep for an hour and you wake up and the score's 7 runs of different. That's living.
It's like yoga for men.
Yeah, it is good. All right, should we go breaking it?
Yes, let's do it. So there are some big dramas unfolding among South Australia's many different shooting communities, and this is a diverse and law-abiding group of people. You've got farmers, you've got sporting shooters, you've got people who go hunting, kill feral animals like goats and so forth out near Broken Hill. People who just do it for fun. They're savvy people who take care with their firearms, and as I said, they abide by the laws. So where things are at now in South Australia, I've been doing a bit of work on this, talking to some people, is that post-Bondi, there are real concerns about exactly what could happen to the laws governing gun ownership, gun use, gun storage, types of guns, etc. And nobody in the shooting community appears to be satisfied with the reassurances they've got so far from the Malinowskis government. It's something that also has a backdrop, obviously, of a state election. Gary Nolan is the spokesman for the Firearm Owners Collective of SA. We understand there's a big meeting coming up, which could be quite significant as to what happens next with South Australia's gun laws. And Gary's on the line now. Gary, good morning, mate, and thanks for joining us. Is that a fair description as to where things are at with all of the different shooters? Because I know you guys are a collective. You're someone who's interested in the sporting side of it, but there's a lot of different gun owners with very similar concerns now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, firstly, good morning. We certainly are concerned with certainty. So what we have is several gun policies already drafted from various political parties, including One Nation, the Libs, the Nats, Sarah Gaines party as well. So they've been very, very certain about their policy that there will be no changes to gun laws. So we've written to local members of parliament, through to the ministers, through to the members of the Legislative Council, the Labor members, and we've got the same sort of response that they're saying the word currently in their letter, which is it falls short of what we're looking for. We need certainty.
We saw the Queensland government, Gary, came out and said that they've got no issue with the gun laws as they stand. They think a gun owner is looking for a similar sort of clear statement like that from the state government to reassure law-abiding people like you that there's not going to be any changes.
Well, Premier Crisafulli, he's hit the nail on the head. He's been absolutely perfect with his position. That is, we're law-abiding citizens. What they need to do is tighten up laws on people out there breaking the law. So he's introduced laws that will punish people for doing the wrong thing. That's exactly what we ought to be doing.
And Gary, I understand there's a meeting tonight about this, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's a meeting being convened by the Combined Firearms Council, so and they've asked me to speak, so it's not actually been convened by the people that I represent, but I've agreed to talk tonight, and what we will be doing is introducing the people will be attending will be the various political parties from One Nation through to Liberals, the Nats, Sarah Gaines Party, and so on. So they'll be talking, and they'll be open to Q&A. So it'll be at the Molinara Sports Centre on Lyons Road at Windsor Gardens at 7 o'clock tonight.
Well, Gary, it's something that I know from having covered politics in Canberra in 1996 at the time of Port Arthur, where, understandably then a lot of legitimate gun owners were going, why are we in the frame for this? It's something that has got the potential to turn into a major political issue. Gary Nolan from the Firearm Owners Collective of SA, thank you. I'm not a gun person at all. I don't like them. In fact, I really loathe them, mainly from having lived in Mexico. And I can remember going kayaking once with some mates on a school excursion, and we're all in different cars, and we got to this border check, and one of my mates said, "Don't open the glove box." I went, okay. And we got through the check, and police just waved us through and came out the other side. And I said, "What's in there?" And he just said, "Look." And he had this handgun.
Right.
And I said, bloody hell. I was sitting in this car with a handgun for 2 hours drive up into the
so alien as an Australian, isn't it?
Yeah. But having said that, the people who do shoot, all those people I described, None of them are the ones we hear about 6:45 with SAPO,
No,
are they?
that's right.
They're not doing the drive-bys. They're not doing the, the offenders were known to each other type shoot-ups in Davern Park or Elizabeth or Christie's or wherever. Like, none of those people are going to hand in their guns or care about the new storage rules or anything like that. So I sympathise with the people who on the land doing it for fun. You're shooting a goat for dinner, whatever.
20 minutes after 8, while Breaking 8 was going on, the US President Donald Trump provided an update on the war in Iran. Let's have a quick listen as to what he had to say.
The United States military, together with the wonderful Israeli partners, continues to totally demolish the enemy far ahead of schedule and at levels that people have never seen before, actually. We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour, knocking them out like nobody thought was possible. As soon as they set off a missile, within 4 minutes, the launcher gets hit. They don't know what's happening. But we have the greatest military anywhere in the world. Their Navy is gone. 24 ships in 3 days. That's a lot of ships. Their communications are gone. Missiles are gone. Launches are gone. About 60% and 64% respectively. Other than that, they're doing quite well. I said, what's left? But they're tough, and they want to fight. And they're calling, they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do.
I guess the takeaway is that maybe they want to make a deal, and that would be something that everyone would appreciate. There was a concerning report, I think, in Politico overnight that there was some expectation with the US government the war would last until September of this year, which would be potentially devastating economically, let alone what it would mean for the people living in the region. So that was the US President Donald Trump literally speaking in the last 5 minutes.
It is a total and utter decimation of the Iranian military capacity, though, isn't it? Like, would actually decimate. Decimation literally means to kill 1 in 10. It's an obliteration.
The United States has the difference between the US Army and that with anything else on planet Earth is, I think the difference is greater than it's almost ever been in human history between fighting forces. I mean, I remember the statistic was when I was in uni, they spent more than the next 13 nations combined. I think it's now the next 8 nations combined on defence. What they have at their disposal is staggering, and the power differential is ludicrous, which leads you to always, and the US has had this in recent years, dominate the conventional warfare element. It's the next element that's hard, that it's hard to do by pushing a button in Washington. Yeah. And that's affecting lasting change to a country. Yeah. And not ending up with a failed state or
a civil war.
Civil war, terror organisations running the joint, which is the risk you run. So I'm not surprised by this is what they do as well as any civilization has ever done on planet Earth. We're seeing it roll out now. Their war machine is
But I genuinely think whatever you think of Trump, the idea of Iran being super well armed and being on the cusp of having a nuclear bomb, and we're seeing they're attacking UAE, they're attacking
totally
Qatar,
indiscriminate.
They've attacked Azerbaijan now. They've attacked British Cyprus. Not that Keir Starmer seems overly energised by that fact. So
I don't say any of that as a sort of a protest around what's happening. Rather, this is the easy part with the strengths they have.
Yeah.
The next bit's the hard part.
Yeah, correct. But I actually think in a brutal sort of realpolitik sense that there is a completely hard-headed and callous argument that some could make saying a dysfunctional Iran is actually, in a strategic sense, preferable to an all-powerful Ayatollah-led Iran with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, if it's about not getting nukes, yes.
As horrible as that is, but yeah, it's a quagmire potentially, but it's one that has been necessitated by something that urgently needed to happen.
Thankfully for us here in Australia, being so far away, it's only a cost of living story, and we're going to get into that on the other side of this break.
At Marsden, a Burst Waterway getting sorted, South Road near Everard Avenue. Still got that road place getting fixed on South Road 2 near Raglan Avenue, just near Castle Plaza. Pretty sluggish as we speak. And a breakdown getting sorted at Brown Hill Creek, the freeway down track to the Mount Osman ramp. Slow going Brighton Road, Glenelg East with a Camera Green Junction Road, Gillis Plains. Adventure Club members, gear up for less this long weekend at Anaconda. Grab 2 June Frontier 30-litre fridges for $399. Hurry, Dylan's this Monday. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Sydney by plenty for me. Charlie kicks 5, that'll be the margin. Are they any chance?
Massive
Be honest, are they?
Massive, mate. Have you watched any of the 2 games in the practice games?
They've beaten Geelong and Brisbane.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
This is the thing with your mob, Carlton. You're always been February, March, April champions.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Do you ever get behind the wheel and feel annoyed or frustrated? You might even wonder why people can't indicate anymore. Or maybe just think that it would be nice to have a destination you could look forward to.
Sounds like you might need a holiday to hit the road out on a wide open highway, looking across boundless territory or winding through world-class national parks and overflowing waterfalls.
Got to say, Australia's looking pretty good as a holiday destination right now. Set up camp under 1 billion stars with no one else around. Test your rig on some of the best tracks in the country. If this sounds like you, your best bet is to head north where vast open roads let you leave the rage behind.
Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. Head to northernterritory.com to find out more.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Business too small to be noticed by those global car rental companies? Well, you can rely on Red Spot to look after you. We love renting to small businesses because we used to be one. We're the only Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
Blink and you'll miss it. The Snooze Flash sale is on now. Save up to 60% off selected mattresses and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Monday. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
Tommy, what gets you up in the morning for a hit of golf?
Timmy, there's nothing better than stepping out on the first hole and feeling the anticipation of a great day. What about you?
It's the crack of the driver, sends the ball straight down the middle of the fairway. What gets you up for a game, Rowie?
Timmy, for me, it's the plonk of the ball finding the cup.
You know what gets me up for a game of golf, fellas?
We know, Pimbo. It's about 8 missed calls and a drive-by.
Drummond Golf. For the love of golf.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
28 minutes after 8, we've got a terrific double pass to see Long Way to the Top, starring Dave Gleeson. Terrific show, celebration of Australian rock at Gluttony. The way we're going to give it away, given petrol prices are the focus for us here at the moment in Australia, the impacts of the war in Iran. What will the petrol price be of unleaded 91 at the BP on West Terrace at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning? Okay?
That's specific.
The beep, well, we have to be, otherwise people, quibble.
Yeah.
We got a lot of lawyers who listen.
Yeah, we do.
8 o'clock Tuesday morning. What will the petrol price be at the OTR West Terrace? 8223 0000 is the number. Get calling now. I'll give you a hint. Right now, it's $1.89.9. $1.89.9. Brent crude's at $83 a barrel. West Texas crude's at $78 a barrel. So it's up by both measures, $10 to $12 from where it was before the war started. So going into another weekend, long weekend in Adelaide, 8223 0000. Call right now. What will the petrol price be Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock on West Terrace? Michelle in Nord, good morning.
Good morning. I think it's going to be $2.01.
$2.01. Thank you, Michelle. James in Nord also, good morning.
Yes, good morning. 203.9.
Thank you, James. Jane in Goodwood, what's the price going to be?
I'll be 275. 275?
Well, Lee, 275. That would not be good for anyone. Thank you, Jane, except for you, because you'll win tickets to see the show. Tony in Seaton, good morning.
$2.20.
$2.20. Thank you, Tony. Barry in Campbelltown, good morning.
$2.19.9.
Thank you, Barry. Sue in Christie's Beach, what do you think you'll be paying for petrol?
$2.04.9.
All right, thank you, Sue. Dave in Mile End, good morning.
Morning, 209.9.
Jane in Gulfview Heights, good morning.
Good morning. I think it will be 199.9.
199.9. And Dave in Alberton, what do you think it'll be?
I was going to say $1.19 for a chortle, but we'll go 205.5.
All right. Thank you for that, Dave. Self-deprecating as always. Good port man. At $1.89.9 right now. So Tuesday, when we're back on air after the long weekend at 8 o'clock, where will it be? We'll find out. And someone's off to see that excellent show starring Tom Gleeson, A Long Way to the Top.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 27 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
2 more flights carrying Australians fleeing the Middle East have touched down on home soil. 4 additional flights are scheduled across the next 24 hours, with about 100,000 Australians believed to be stranded in the region. Foreign Minister Penny Wong telling the ABC those preparing to leave the area should be ready for sudden adjustments.
We've got another flight which is arriving later this morning. It's the first flight from Abu Dhabi. And what my counterpart told me is that we've got 4 Emirates flights over the next 24 hours, 2 to Sydney, 1 to Melbourne and 1 to Perth. Now, obviously, all of this is subject to change.
Oil has spiked to its highest level since 2024 as the conflict in the Middle East wreaks havoc with global markets. It comes with the country's fuel reserves in the spotlight. Australia has just 36 days of petrol, 34 of diesel and 32 days of jet fuel in reserve. Centre for Independent Studies spokesman Aidan Morrison says Australia is vulnerable to a supply shock.
We don't have really any domestic fuel production capacity of our own. We refine about 20% of what we use, but even the stocks that feed our refineries, almost all of that is actually imported crude oil as well.
The Dow Jones was down more than 2% at one stage, but has rallied slightly before the close. The Aussie market is forecast to open down 1.5% on the back of sell-off on Wall Street. Back home, and police have arrested a man and seized firearms in the northern suburbs overnight. Just before 1 this morning, they were called to a welfare check on Brady Street at Elizabeth. A 20-year-old man from Burton was arrested with 2 firearms, drugs and ammunition seized. He'll face court today. New analysis shows the share of lending to first home buyers has dropped over the past 5 years. ABS data shows the group had a 17.8% share of housing finance commitments in the December quarter of last year. Investors had a 39.7% over the same period. A new pill's on the way that's reportedly more effective than some popular weight loss injectables. Gabrielle Hodson has more.
Eli Lilly has confirmed a new weight loss pill is being evaluated, with a study showing it's more effective than the oral equivalent of Wegovy. The Financial Review says orforglipron contains GLP-1, that is glucagon-like peptide 1, to regulate blood sugar and control appetite. The US company says our Therapeutic Goods Administration is also investigating the drug, but there's no word on if or when we'll see it here. Oral medications are the latest frontier in the booming GLP-1 weight loss market, with an estimated 400,000 Aussies currently using injectables.
More than 50,000 people packed Adelaide Oval last night for the final concert of Ed Sheeran's Loop Tour. The pop star didn't disappoint. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Tom Wren, footy is back.
It is back, and you were there last night as well, Jess, at the concert. Sounded good.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, footy is back, though. You're absolutely right. And a powerful second-half performance from Sydney has helped them secure a 63-point win against Carlton in the season opener. High-profile recruit Charlie Curnow booted 3 goals. Gold Coast will host Geelong tonight, while the Crows and Port Adelaide will wait another week before playing their first matches. To the World Game, the Matildas have had a triumphant 4-0 win over Iran, sealing Australia's ticket to the knockout stages of the Women's Asian Cup. Star attackers Amy Sayer and Mary Fowler both claiming a goal in the first half, before player of the match Alana Kennedy scored the next 2. Coach Joe Montemuro says he's pleased with how the team's growing into the tournament.
We're taking the steps forward in the way we want to play, and obviously in terms of being able to adapt to different structures and organisations against certain teams. So a positive step forward.
Meantime, Crystal Palace has beaten Tottenham 3-1 in their EPL clash this morning. Now, that result incredibly leaves Spurs only 1 point above the relegation zone and in very real danger of being relegated with just 9 games to play this season. To cricket now, South Australia has given itself a chance to push for a result after a strong effort with the ball on day 1 of their Shield clash against New South Wales. That's being played at Karen Rolton Oval. Needing a win to be a chance of jumping into the top 2, the home side dismissed the visitors for 269. Paceman Henry Thornton, who took 5 wickets, says it was a great team effort.
I thought the boys bowled overall all day really, really well. To restrict them to like 260-odd on a pretty batter-friendly wicket, it's a huge effort.
It certainly was a blow, though, for SA, with Travis Head out late in the day to leave them 1 for 20 at stumps in reply. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Let's check the 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Brown Hill Creek, a breakdown getting sorted. The freeway down track near the Mount Osmond ramp. Marston, a burst water main, South Road near Everard Avenue. And Melrose Park repairs as they fix a road plate. South Road near Rackland Avenue's got speeds reduced there and pretty slow. Pretty busy at the moment. Marion Road to the Anzac Highway intersection with the camera Kelly Road Valley View. Harris Garve Autumn Sale is on now. Save 30% off full price bras and underwear. Exclusions apply. See conditions online. Harris Garve, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Now the 5AA forecast, 27's the top today. The same again tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Sunny and 27 every day of your long weekend. Right now it's 16 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
The company you keep keeps unpacking sport and entertainment's untold stories and keeps you part of rugby league's inner huddle. Keep good company with the Backstage podcast.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tyres and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Be inspired with a trip to Virginia Home and Garden. Discover SA's biggest range with over 12,000 square metres of indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees and ornamental trees, shrubs and hedges. Over 70% of our plants are grown here in the nursery. So not only are they grown for SA conditions, you'll pay less. Virginia Home and Garden also has the right indoor and outdoor pots in every size, colour and texture. Nurture yourself with nature at Virginia Home and Garden, not just a nursery.
We've got 2 spots available for Feedback Friday if you'd like to jump on board and have a bit of fun. We've got wonderful prizes to give away. 8223 0000 is the number. 2 spots. Get calling right now and you could be on Feedback Friday in just a moment. Let's talk about real estate in Toop and Toop because real estate is booming in SA, and with Toop and Toop's proven strategies, they're connecting motivated buyers with the right homes, ensuring no opportunity is missed.
That's right. Bronte Manuel and his team, we love our segment with Bronte. They've been helping Adelaide buyers and sellers for more than 40 years, and it's why so many South Aussies look to them for real estate advice.
Right now, they're working with 8,794 buyers in Norwood, 7,809 buyers in Rose Park, and 7,751 buyers in Toorak Gardens, all searching for their perfect property in these specific locations through the Toop Vault.
If you're thinking of selling and would like to know how many buyers we're working with in your suburb,
Retirement should be about holidays or buying that better bottle of wine. AFM Wealth Strategy helps people enjoy retirement without the constant fear of running out. Their independent advice shows you how your money can last your lifetime, living well along the way. For a worry-free retirement, you need to plan now. Get in touch with AFM Wealth Strategy, an authorised representative of Independent Financial Advisors Australia, AFSL 464629.
Your kids need a good education, not secret indoctrination.
Political correctness and gender theories are driving a wedge between you and your kids.
Family First will get schools back to basics to take the pressure off parents. Vote 1, Family First.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton Family First Party, Norwood.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
17 minutes to 9, Feedback Friday on the way. I think I said Tom Gleeson was playing Long Way to the Top, which would be a very different show than Dave Gleeson and Gluttony. Tom's excellent and very talented, but Dave is more of the musical talent.
That's a bit like the fantastic segment on the Andrew Denton Money or the Gun program, which always ended with the mix-up over the booking for the band to play them out.
Yeah.
When they said, we've got David Byrne from Talking Heads singing Once in a Lifetime, and it's like, you said David Byrne. I think you said David Boone. And then they had Booney up on stage going, "This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful house. Letting the days go by, letting the water hold me up."
That's excellent. Let's feedback.
Feedback. Friday today, so have you say feedback.
The funniest one was when they wanted to get Joan Jett to sing I Love Rock and Roll, and they accidentally got Joan Kerner.
Feedback Friday, we have a magnificent Smeg appliance to give away. Building or renovating your first choice, we're in the Smeg showroom at Deputy Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg. And we've also got double passes to California Crooners Club for our other 2 contestants. Everyone wins a prize. California Crooners Club, Monday, 9th of March at Gluttony in Rymel Park, home of the biggest shows this fringe. Get into Gluttony. Impossible to have a bad time in Gluttony. There's great food. There's great shows. You get tickets at gluttony.net.au. Graham in Ingle Farm, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Happy Friday.
You too, Graham.
Graham, what's your favourite Ed Sheeran song?
I knew you was going to come up with this. I haven't got one.
That's fine. It was more of an experiment than a question, that one.
Yeah, you do it all the time to me. Every time you ask me a musical question,
Graham,
musical mind.
Did you watch the first game of the AFL season last night?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I did. Yes,
Not
I
a
did.
Carlton man, are you, Graham?
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking, Carlton again.
Yeah,
Down the
indeed.
bottom.
So
Down
Carlton.
the bottom. Yeah.
Have you ever stopped over in Dubai or Doha, Graham?
No. And I'm glad I don't.
You're certainly in the moment.
Certainly avoiding any at the moment. And I wonder if people will in future change their travel habits. That'll be interesting to monitor. We lost Dennis Committee this week. Graham, do you have a favourite all-time sports commentator?
Oh, Bruce.
Yeah.
Definitely Bruce. And Dennis, they were, a pair, what you could say, they were the best. They were the best.
Yeah, the combination, it was just spectacular. Yeah, you don't know what you've got till they've gone sometimes.
No.
Thank you, Graham. That was excellent. Duncan in Mawson Lakes, good morning.
Gentlemen, how are we?
We're good, Duncan. We want your expertise on this. The best way to eat a sausage. We launched the Democracy sausage this week. What's your go-to for eating a sausage?
Bread, then the sausage, and most definitely onions on top.
Yep.
Unlike the political correct way.
Yeah. Not the woke garbage.
Yes.
No.
Can a sandwich be woke?
Yes, if the onions are on the bottom.
Okay.
Anything can be woke.
You put weird food in any sandwich, it could be woke.
Yeah.
Malcolm Turner was offered a sausage sandwich once, and he said, "No, I'm not eating that, thank you." That tells you all you need to know about the bloke, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
He probably wanted a croque monsieur.
Hey, Duncan, have you ever been on the O-Bahn? It's turned 40 years of age.
As sad as this sounds, no, I haven't, but it is one of my bucket list things to do in Adelaide. That sounds sad.
Duncan, I reckon you'll be able to tick that one off. We believe in you. When did you last fill up on petrol, Duncan?
In about 1 minute's time, I'm about to sell a kidney and put some diesel into my ute to keep the business running. So, wish me luck.
Yeah.
You know where you should go? Scotty Hodges just texted. Currently, Edithburg, the Edithburg Deli selling unleaded for $1.64.
Is that
my
right?
My light's flashing empty, so I might struggle to get there.
I tell you what, there's no other radio station in this country. You get one of the greatest goal kickers of all time texting in with petrol tips. Scotty Hodges, what an absolute legend. Duncan, now, where were we? Where do you think your footy team's going to finish this year?
Well, I don't actually follow the sport, but my wife makes me become a financial member of North Melbourne every year, so that says it all, really, doesn't it?
All right. So
they need all the fans they can get, mate.
Yeah, in fact, no, say no more. We get
They
it.
need all the ability they could get if they could learn
We get it, Duncan.
It would be great.
We tried to answer the question this week about whether mosquitoes are selective in who they target. The science would suggest not. The anecdotal evidence is different. Do you feel like you're unfairly targeted by mosquitoes, Duncan, or do they leave you alone?
No, they leave me alone, but fortunately they attack my wife, so she's very good.
See, that's what most people say, but
Team
scientists
player.
told us that that's not a thing.
Yeah.
I think the
urban myth.
Yeah. Thank you, Duncan. Let's go to Campbelltown. John, good morning.
Good morning, boys.
John, 5AA turns 50 in 8 days' time. What do you think the most important thing that's happened in Adelaide in the last 50 years is?
Oh, wow. The most important thing.
Yeah.
Pros winning 2 premierships, 1 up on Port.
Funnily enough, that was the correct answer, John. That's correct. Now, we always say there's no wrong answers, but there are some very right answers, and that was right. What's the coolest thing you've ever seen in the sky, John?
The coolest thing I've ever seen in the sky.
Yeah, we had the blood moon this week. A lot of terrific photos of it, sort of,
Yeah, no, it's probably that big Russian cargo plane, I reckon, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
The Antonov. Is that what it is?
Antonov.
I think it's Ukrainian.
They are gigantic, those things.
They are absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Now, John, when was the last time you filled up on petrol?
Actually, 2 days ago. It was about $1.79. So I'm bracing.
Good work, John.
For next week when I run out of fuel.
Yeah. Well, at least you got in. A couple of days ago.
If AFL was added to the Olympic Games, John, which other country do you think would be our closest competitor?
You have to think probably, was it the Irish with the Gaelic football that they play?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be them.
Yeah, that's a good
Americans
pick.
wouldn't be any
That
good
makes
at it.
sense. Yeah, they're at least closest to it.
With their headgear. Yeah.
Ball shape might be an issue. Hey, John, thank you. Now, who wins the Smeg appliance and who is off to gluttony?
I reckon let's give randomly Graham gets the Smeg appliance and Duncan John can head off to see the California Crooners.
California Crooners
All the
Club.
leaves are brown.
Monday, 9th of March, Gluttony in Rymel Park. Home of the biggest shows this fringe. Tickets from gluttony.net.au. We got Fuel Watch and we're counting down the top 5 moments of the week next.
If you're worried about the price of oil, you might be less worried soon about the price of olive oil because Spain has told the US to get stuffed. Trump asked what's his name? Pedro Sanchez, Spanish president, who's a socialist. Can we use your bases to bomb Iran? And Sanchez said, nup, get stuffed, no way, with the support of the Spanish people. And Trump has said, all right, we're going to ban all trade with Spain. Now, the biggest thing that Spain exports to the US is olive oil by the length of the strait. They're the world's biggest producer of olive oil around places like, is it Jaén in the centre? It's just all you can see is olive trees. So there's predictions that there could be a bit of an olive oil glut. And given how expensive olive oil has been, the price might come down.
Well, okay, good news for some oil.
Other thing, the other thing, there might. This is an economic story that excites me. Chorizo dumping. There might just be, jamón ibérico, morcilla, the black pudding. But the chorizo, we could be getting our hands on black-footed, acorn-eating pig Spanish ham.
Yeah, but I think that's economic analysis that undervalues one side of the equation. Obviously, there'll be an over supply, but what they haven't factored in is your level of demand that I think might meet the supply issue, and therefore there won't be a big price drop. We'll have to wait and see. Let's check traffic.
Morning there at Ascot Park. A crash to look out for. Dawes Road near Charles Street. Paradise, a crash there too. Lower North East Road near Darley Road. And a burst water main getting sorted at Marsden, making South Road even slower, just near Everard Avenue. Camera this morning, Wattle Street, Malvern too. No lock-in contracts, no hidden fees. Join Revo Fitness from just $9.69 per week for 24/7 access to any Revo Fitness club across Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
We're all feeling the squeeze under Labor. Power bills are up 43% in 4 years. We have the 6th least affordable housing in the world. And our debt is nearing $48 billion. This election, stop Labor's cost of living squeeze. Vote Liberal.
Authorised by AHIDE Liberal Party only.
Star Discount Chemist's Big Brand Vitamin Sale is here. Big brand names at low prices, including Bioglan, Blackmores, Nature's Way and more. Go in store or online to shop. Always read the label and follow directions for use. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
A lot can change in 18 months. A newborn becomes a toddler. That DIY project that you've been working on should be finished, and your favourite Netflix series could sadly come to an end. But with Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed price contract, one thing that won't change is the price.
It means you can rest easy knowing that when you're ready to build, the price is fixed for a solid 18 months with zero surprises except for your free luxury upgrades.
$15,000 worth of luxury upgrades at no extra cost. Choose what matters to you. It could be reverse cycle air conditioning, stone benchtops, solar panels and more, plus 2.7 metre high ceilings are included.
Ask about Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed price contract. Some T's and C's apply. Visit sterlinghomes.com.au for display home locations across Adelaide.
Harvey Norman loves the footy. Kick off the season with a new TV. Save over $850 on Samsung 75-inch mini LED TV, now $2,142. Or upsize the action with a Hisense 85-inch QLED TV, now $1,588. For stadium surround sound, save over $300 on JBL 7.1 channel soundbar, now $691. And get halftime drinks sorted with Westinghouse 496-litre French door fridge, now just $1,488. Kick off the footy season with more in store at Harvey Norman now.
Look at your hands. 5 digits, 14 joints, 27 bones, multiple tendons and nerves, but a lot can go wrong. If you're experiencing hand pain, it can drastically affect your lifestyle. If it's happening to you, get in touch with GRIP, a specialised hand and wrist practice with a team of highly qualified hand surgeons and therapists. From therapy to surgery, GRIP can help you get to the source of the pain and provide a solution. Visit gripsurgery.com.au.
Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes are definitely in the spirit of giving. With the Mitsubishi Outlander ES, drive away for just $39,990. Plus it comes with a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing. Agostino Mitsubishi, famous for great service, great trade-ins and great range. And if they say they're going to do something, they'll do it. Get into Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for Mitsubishi Outlander ES.
The top 5 of the week.
Number 5.
What I really miss, the barbecue.
And then we'd go back after the game and have a barbecue to let all the cars go. But I do not miss those horrible seats. That's why we called it Pleurisy Park.